another one for the inventory.
Yeah.
This one's
well, guys, if you're all ready, we can start.
Yep.
All right. So first off, hail and well met travelers. Welcome to the Risky Rollers stream. For those of you who've been following us up until now, you know that we're a group of best friends who love playing D&D, and we've been playing this campaign for about a year now. And I think that this is actually our anniversary date or something like that. But before we dive in, I wanted to give everybody some information that's watching. Since this is a campaign we've been playing for a while, there's a lot of stuff that you won't know. But something to let you all know, this campaign started off originally as Out of the Abyss, and through some time with playing it, I grew more comfortable making it a homebrew game. So you might hear some character names or situations that are similar to that campaign, but this is no longer anything with Out of the Abyss, aside for some characters such as Ront, who we posted about a while ago. So yeah, this is also our player character's first time out of the Underdark. So it's kind of nice that we're starting a whole new world with all of you guys as well. So, last we left our heroes. The party found themselves, for the first time since meeting, leaving the unforgiving tunnels of the Underdark after learning of some of the higher powers and history of the plane. With nothing but the packs on their back, our companions depart from the now saved city of Gauntlgrim as heroes in search of answers, enemies, and adventure as they walk towards the Moonshoore Isles. We begin in the Strongbow Empire under the great thundering peaks at the city entrance and exit of Gauntlgrim. As you all walk, leaving the tombs of Gauntlgrim that are both the entrance and exit to the city, you all walk past the check-in that is up and running, and you can see that there are still some drow being escorted out and moved in the opposite direction of the path that you are all walking towards. To the right, you see a dimly lit tunnel that seems to brighten as if lit by a fire as it winds around a rocky bend. To the left, you see the darkness from which you had come from. Lining the walls of the wide tunnel on either side stand dwarves in full-plated armor wielding weapons ranging from spears to bows. And as you all walk past, and as you, Daetrys, ride, you receive nods acknowledging you from the dwarves before they go back to a statue-like demeanor. The light grows as you come around another bend, and you realize it won't be long now before you reach the entrance, or for you all, the exit.
Bizarre is going to stop.
Tamarissa stops and looks back at her. Is everything okay?
I've never been to the surface.
I see. I dare say it's a little bit different than where we've been. Are you going to be okay?
Now that I'm full of drow, probably not.
Is there anything you can do to ward off the effect of the light? It's very bright out there.
I have no idea. I have no experience.
Well, we can ease into it. You can stand in my shadow if you'd like.
Bizarre is going to take a deep breath and kind of hold it. And then when she lets it out, she's going to say, I'm going to face it.
Fair enough.
And she's going to proceed slowly.
All right. You hear the of Eclipse hooves, and Daetrys, you feel your hair blow slightly in a breeze that hasn't existed for the past month or so, and the smell of familiar wet grass floods your nostrils.
Am I able to see the exit, or do I just feel all of this?
You're feeling this right now, but there is a bend approaching, and you can see that it's a bit brighter up ahead.
Yeah, Daetrys would definitely urge Eclipse into a trot.
All right, you hear the trot pick up, and coming around the bend, you all see An orange glow mixed with faint purples painting the walls like stained glass. The light is low, but it's getting brighter as you all see coming around the last bend a gargantuan gaping hole framing the tops of hills of grass and cumulonimbus clouds slowly moving in the wind. The path slants upward, and you see the colored lights painting the walls are reflecting off the dwarves' spears and armor, and it's moving slowly in the path of its source. You all now smell the scent of the dew and feel the breeze of the morning air dance across your clothes. It's a welcomed and memorable sight, and for one of you, a complete stranger.
Upon reaching the entrance, the air gets knocked out of Bizarra, and she just goes, and she sees everything.
It is a array of colors, just ones you've never seen before. And as you each step through the large gaping hole, please describe your character and what they do as they leave the Underdark.
You're muted.
Bizarra would probably be in the back, so just saying.
Daetrys would probably, I'll just she'd probably be out front with a clip. So Daetrys is a wood elf with hair that is silvered. She has bright green eyes, and she's wearing brown armor with a long green cloak, cape type thing. She has a black bow with no string at her side, and as she sees the opening to the world, she would urge her black warhorse Eclipse into a canter just to celebrate being back out to the open air, no longer in the Underdark.
You zoom past the dwarves that are standing there, all remaining in statue-like forms, and you just emerge out into this world, and you, Daetrys, can see that the sun is rising. You run around at the Eclipse, who is also just so excited to be outside of those tunnels, and together you all prance around, enjoying the air. Who is next?
Next can
Grifth
be,
makes his way out.
Go ahead.
Grifth makes his way out. An old dwarf, very fond of the sun, though he never spent much time underground. He's glad to have the sun against his face and the smell of the dew in his nostrils, and he walks towards the nearest clearing he can find and just picks up some grass and pulls it from the root and just smells it. Tosses it to the side and just kind of takes everything in. He's cloaked in green, as many druids are, and it's kind of the color of our trade. And he sort of hobbles along with his staff of the woodlands.
Following that,
Next up is Veneris. He's a rather tall moon elf. He has on a bright pink leather armor, and he has white hair, and then he has alabaster skin, but you can see tinges of blue in it. In addition, you see his eyes with flecks of gold in the center, and he's not bad looking, but he has a big grin on his face, and it adds a fair amount of beauty to his features just with that smile.
All right. So I guess next is Tamarissa. Tamarissa is a purple dragonborn. She's quite tall, standing about 6'5". She's got long, silvery, kind of purple hair that's kind of cut into a mohawk shape, although it's a little bit long and shaggy after a year or a few months of traveling around in the Underdark. She has bright green eyes and gold, like very white gold and white, silver, and gold armor. And she has like a green cloak that hangs down below everything, and like gauntlets, shield guards. She walks out into the sunlight, and she's aware that Vizar is behind her, but she kind of quickens her pace just a little bit so she can feel the sun on her face. And once she's out in the sun, she closes her eyes and just takes a deep breath, and there's like a small smile that crosses her lips. And she reaches up and holds her pendant of Tamara in her hand and just whispers, "I'm home." I'm on my way home.
All right.
With that, Bizarra is going to hesitantly come out from the shadows. Bizarra is a drow elf, so very dark gray skin, but bright white eyes and bright white hair. And she has a tattoo that goes across her face in a line from one ear to the other. Her ears are a little bit longer and larger than other elves, being Underdark oriented. And when she first sees the light, she winces and stops and slowly opens her eyes and just inches forward. And once she's in full sunlight, she just stays still and looks around. Again, never has seen the surface, so she doesn't know what to think of it yet.
I made a mistake, actually. I have black hair with streaks of white. That's my bad.
No worries. Taking your first step outside of the Underdark, for some of you, been a long while. You're joined with the sun rising as well, filling the sky with shades of orange and pink, peach and magenta, amber and rose, radiating a new beginning, a new day, another chance to live. The doors that are behind you at the entrance or exit of the largest portion of the Underdark, they're all marveling at this sight. These people that they were described as being stoic city savers, heroes, are now all walking around, some of you prancing around, others just skulking about in the shadows, coming up into the upper world. Risky rollers, what do you do?
Zara is immediately going to cast prestidigitation and have like a fan that comes over her face, so she can at least have some shade over her eyes.
Okay.
All right.
We should probably have a destination in mind before we head any particular direction.
Perhaps there is a bar or an inn we can go and sit at and kind of examine that map that we were given of the upper lands.
You weren't given the map, you were just shown it.
Discuss the map we were shown of the upper
any,
lands.
like, village or anything within sight of us? Or is it all, like, pretty flat and barren? Like, or not barren.
Make a perception check.
$16. Can you hear me? 16?
Nope. Oh, 16? Okay.
Yeah.
Looking around, you see that it is just grasslands. And with a 16, I'd say that you could see what looks like a path, a road that is amongst this grassland. There are also boulders, massive piles of rocks in these lands, but the grass is tall and you don't see any village or bar in sight. Behind you are the dwarves that are guarding the entrance, and turning around for the first time, you look up and see this gigantic mountain. It is very large, and you can kind of see why the dwarves have started mining it.
I do believe that we talked about maybe heading to the Moonshoore Isles. It was
Yes.
south of here, if I recall.
Yes.
It would be nice to see the ocean again. It's been a long time.
I agree. I think that would be a reasonable direction to go. We could make our way through the southern woodlands.
Veneris looks a little uneasy at the mention of going that direction, but he sort of nods his head and says, "It's going to be hard to get away around those. It's probably the best option we have."
I'm familiar with woodlands. We'll be fine passing through there, I assure you.
Tamarissa raises an eyebrow at this, having been pulled down a few holes by Grifth and ropes, various things. You sure, Tim?
I assure him. I've been there.
Well, you're a dwarf and you're underground and you still almost fell down a hole, Simon.
I didn't know there was a hole there. Well, I did. I knew there was a hole. I wanted to know what was in the hole.
Shall we?
Zara's going to listen to this, kind of roll her eyes.
Tamaris is not a huge fan of the impulsive.
Perhaps it'd be wise to ask one of the guards which direction to go to. I'm not doing it.
I believe it's south.
Yeah,
Datrys,
Datrys,
would you like
you want
to
to go ahead?
Lead the way.
Say, do you want to go ahead and roll a survival check?
Yes, Datrys would.
Figure out which way is south.
That's a 19.
There we go.
Okay, yeah, you you kind of look off into the distance, and your ears twitch, and you just immediately know where south is, and you also know, based on your previous travels as well, that the road that you see up ahead, that is the Royal Road, and it does lead straight to the Southern Woodlands.
I believe if we follow this road, we will end up exactly where we'd like to. Any objections?
I have none.
Lead the way.
You're welcome to tell me where to go anytime, Datrys. So
You couldn't have just left that in the Underdark.
Datrys doesn't even glance at Veneros, and she nudges Eclipse onward down the Royal Road towards the Southern.
Eclipse begins his trot, and you all begin your journey. So how we're going to do this is it's a 3-day journey. Datrys would know this as you have traveled these parts. I'm going to have each of you roll kind of like a group skill check to let me know how you're contributing to you guys arriving at the Southern Woodlands. Because I don't want to spend like a whole session doing a 3-day travel. So think about what you want to do, what skill you want to use, and you can't use the same one that a previous person has used. So we'll do 2 a day since it's 3 days. One person will go twice. So pick 2 people for today, decide your skill you want to use, and tell me how you use it to get to the woodlands.
Is this like a group decision or?
Yep, this is all up to you guys.
Okay.
Whoever wants
Zara
to.
would probably be okay with stealth checks, but she'd probably want to ask Datrys what to look for it, essentially, since she hasn't been up in this environment before.
Okay.
So she needs to be looking for tracks or...
Would that be a survival or like a nature check from Datrys, Taylor?
You can choose either survival or... What, is this for Vizara to tell her?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would say survival, but it's going to be a disadvantage because Vizara has no idea about anything outside of the Underdark. So
Yeah.
Vizara, you probably know what a footprint looks like, and that's about it because that's what humanoids have.
Yeah. So I was hoping to get rid of the disadvantage. That's why I wanted to ask.
All right.
I
So
mean,
I have quite a good survival modifier. I could use that to help us get there.
well, who's going first? I need 2 people for today, so pick 2.
I'll go today.
Okay, so Griff and who else?
I'll go today as well.
Okay, so Veneros and Griff, both of you tell me what you're going to be rolling and tell me how it's helping you guys get there. Feel free to be creative.
I'm going to roll survival.
Okay.
Roll medicine. Not medicine. Metagame.
I'll be using my knowledge of the upper realms and just a familiarity with the area to get us there. I've traveled there before, and I should have a pretty good idea of how to get us there safely.
All right, go ahead and roll.
That's a 21.
All right, yeah, so picking into your step, continuing on with your group, you start to remember certain bits of scenery and this path to get home. So that is a successful check. So Veneros, what are you going to use and how is it going to help?
I'm going to use charisma to flirt with one of the guards to get directions on the way to the Moonshoore Isles, as well as
Okay.
with things we might encounter along the way.
All right.
What are we?
So go ahead.
Ooh,
I can't hear you if you're
that's
speaking.
10.
Oh, okay. It's 10. All right. Let's see how this goes. As you approach the guard, what do you say?
Hello. Yes. I couldn't but be entranced by your beard over there, and I like myself a good beard, and well, unfortunately, I can't stay long, and I'm gonna put my fingers in his beard, and I'm pull him a little closer to me and say, "But if you could give me directions to the Moonshoore Isles, I would really appreciate it."
Okay, and then with a 10, he's immediately put off by the fact that you grabbed his beard and just kind of shoves it away before standing up straight and just says, "Well, all right, I could have just told you. Didn't have to touch my beard, mate. You just follow that road to get over to the Moonshoore Isles."
And is there anything that I might need protection from along the road?
Depends on what you're getting into, mate. You know what I'm saying? But I know who you all are. I'm assuming you mean the kind of trouble that involves a fist or an axe.
That would be correct. I don't do well with those.
Just watch out for any of them bandits. You're all taking the royal road. It's faster but more likely to get robbed. Also, lots of guards.
Well, thank you.
Maybe watch out for the wild boars.
Well, thank you for the help. I will take it back to our group. And I'm going to blow him a kiss and then walk back to my group.
All right. He stands ever still. And as you walk away, he says, "And thank you."
I'm going to kind of nod back at him and then relay that information that I just found out to the group.
Okay.
You seemed a little shaky there, Veneros, with your skills.
It's been a while, and, I tired myself out the other night wooing 12 different people back to my bed, so, sometimes you gotta recharge the batteries a little bit. You're more than welcome to help me recharge, Vizara.
Bizarre is just gonna go. And then, just stop the conversation.
Well, if you would all prefer to not take the royal road, I'm pretty sure that between Grifth and I, we could get safely through the forest on our own.
I agree. Also, I could provide us with horses intermittently over the next 3 days. I can conjure animals. I'm a druid. I don't know if you knew that, but.
All right, so should we do another round of checks?
Well, I'll describe what happened during this stay. But if you guys are continuing down, are you taking the royal road or are you trying to weave your own path?
I think I like the path idea. We do have a ranger and a druid with us.
Yeah.
Plus, we just got through saving a major city, so I'm sure there's probably rumor of a bunch of band misfits. Maybe not walking down a royal road would be a good way to go.
I agree.
Bizarre is uncomfortable with this because she would have been able to spot thieves and thieves' traps along the way. So now she doesn't know how she's going to help the group.
There will still be thieves, I'm sure, and thieves' traps. But the wooded areas might be nice because it'll be a little shadier than walking out in the open.
Oh, yeah. By the way, there's not woods. There's an occasional tree, but this is the grasslands.
Right. Well, running from tree to tree, you might be able to hide in the shade.
Bizarre is just going to pull her hood up.
Tarzan.
All right.
Tarzan over there.
So, the first day of your journey begins walking off the beaten path. And you can feel the summer sun start to beat down onto your skin that is exposed. Vizara, your hood is up, so it is blocking the sun, but you can feel this sweating heat. The first day goes by without incident. You pass a few wandering individuals along the path, but nothing more than daily travel, other people who are avoiding the beaten path. And after a day of travel, following Grifth and Datrus's means of survival, Datrus, you realize that it won't be long now before the sun sets, possibly an hour.
You're muted.
We can't hear you.
Datrus would relay that to the group and would ask if they would like to stop for the night.
I think this would be sensible.
Is this a safe place for us to stop?
You tell me.
You told me you were helpful in this.
You can detect good and evil. Is the areas?
Come on. Veneris is going to cast Detect Magic while they're arguing amongst themselves.
Okay, you cast, and all that you feel are the pings of magic items on you and your companions.
As far as magic goes, we seem to be good.
I'll go ahead and cast Divine Sense to make sure there's nothing evil and creepy lurking.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you focus in on your holy item and you cast Divine Sense, and you're not picking up any evil. Only the good of your companions and the neutral of Eclipse.
I relay that to the group also. Though I still suggest we take watches and...
Maybe not good from Datrus, but Just.
I could set an alarm.
Yeah, that's true. You wouldn't feel a ping with Datrus.
Ooh. I raise my eyebrows at this, but I feel I know Datrus well enough to know, which might not be true, but I feel I know her well enough to obviously be able to trust her in this situation that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to keep my eye out.
I think the alarm is a good idea. So
Yes, let's set an alarm.
Bizarre's going to cast alarm. So I'm going to cast it as far as I can, 30 feet, and it will last about 80 hours, or not 80 hours, 8 hours. Can I have it set in a ring around the campsite?
Yeah. We'll say that you pull out the silver wire and you make a circle around all of you. So now you have a 30-foot circle that has the alarm spell cast around it.
Okay. And I'll mark that off.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all
the
settling
sun is setting.
I'm curious. Is the plan to stick? I don't know how far we are away from the road.
I can barely hear you, Tyler.
Yeah. Sorry, Haley. Can you mute your mic?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how far away we are from the. Oh. I don't know how far away we are from the road, but I think it's we haven't encountered any difficulties forging our own path, so until we do, I see no reason to change our plan.
How far do you guys want to be from the road?
That's a ranger or druid question.
Yeah.
Datrus does not care if she can even see the road.
Okay.
As long as she can use the stars and the sun to find her path, she's okay.
It's such a new thing
As long
for
as we
her.
have our bearings, we'll be able to find our way.
Okay, so we're just going to say that you guys are pretty far from the Royal Road.
As the crow flies to the Moonshoore Isles.
Mm-hmm. All right. So if you guys are making camp, the sun is setting. It's getting darker. Vizara, your eyes are kind of adjusting again to the darkness that is happening over this world. The colors are reminiscent of the ones that you saw before, only now they are shades of blues and purples instead of orange. And it is now nightfall. It is starting to get a bit cold. Yes, the moon is up. It is a crescent this evening, but there is a slight chill to the breeze this night.
I gather up some. Can I look for like firewood around us?
Yeah, roll a survival. Actually, roll investigation to find wood. And if you're going to start the fire, I'll have you roll survival.
Venera says wood.
You have wood?
Bizarre, just gonna go.
What about a roll investigation?
Yes, investigation to try
That's
to
a
find
7.
7. It's really hard to even find anything in this darkness, and it's the grasslands. So finding wood to use would be very difficult.
I just hold produce flames in my hands to keep warm.
Okay. So Griff, it's like when you have those hand packets that you put in pockets to keep warm, you've got those just there. But
Veneris is going to kind of look at Griff and say, I've been casting this spell like the entire time we've been doing this campaign. He's going to like cast bonfire like right next to Griff.
okay. This bonfire erupts, lighting the grass, and Griff, you are suddenly hit with this wave of heat. So now this side is very warm. Your hands are warm, but this side's got a slight chill. But you guys now have a bonfire.
Thank you, Venera.
So Tyler.
Sorry.
So I purchased some food at the market before we left. I bought 10 pounds of cured meats and 10 pounds of preserved fruits and vegetables. Would you guys prefer to eat that, or would you rather I go find us something to snack on tonight?
I can help you track something, actually. I can detect plants and animals from distance.
Nice.
Nice.
The
ranger and the druid.
I didn't know you had the same spell.
Oh, it's not a spell.
Oh.
Ranger abilities. I only learn from the best.
Bizarre is still looking at the moon, and she's gonna look at the nearest tree that she thinks she can climb, and she's gonna try to climb it.
All right, the nearest tree, I'd say, it's a good 90 feet away.
Before she leaves, she'll just go, "If you need me, look up." And then she's just gonna like walk off towards the tree.
Okay. So you walk off towards the tree and begin to climb. Go ahead and roll acrobatics for me real quick. We'll get you to the top of the tree and then we'll go back.
I don't think she's used to trees. She hasn't seen a tree before. That was 8.
Okay. So approaching this tree, you're kind of looking at it like how... And you approach it the similar way that Mulan first tried to climb that pole, just kind of like... And you just slide down. It's going to be pretty... It's going to be harder than that to climb.
Can I take my daggers out and attach 2 to my boots and put 2 in my hands?
Yes, you can. So go ahead and roll strength, since you're like climbing up.
Right. That'd be a 12.
Okay, yeah, you are climbing up this tree. The last part takes a little bit more energy as it is a pull up, but you are at the top of this tree, closer to the moon.
She's just gonna sit on the branch and look at the moon. And she's gonna think of Caluth. And she's gonna smile very slightly and whisper, "If only you could see it too."
I think Veneris would go after Bazaar and say, "Whatever you want to do for food is fine. I did the fire, so I've done my part." And then he's gonna kind of trail up Bazaar. He's not gonna like run up to her, but he's gonna kind of like stick behind a little bit just to see like where she's going and what she's doing.
Okay.
Can I roll perception to see if I knew he was behind me?
I was going to have him roll stealth.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not exactly being stealthy. I'm just like...
Okay. Well, yeah, if you're not being stealthy, then yeah. Vizara, what's your passive perception?
A 12.
Okay. Yeah, he's not being particularly stealthy, so you know he's there. That he's farther back.
She'll send a message down to Veneros and say, "If you're checking to see if I'm all right, I'm fine. I'm just taking it in.
I'm not gonna respond quite yet, but kind of start slowly walking over to the tree.
Okay.
When I
You do make your way to the tree.
when I get to the base of the tree, I'm gonna sort of like rub where like she stabbed the tree and the thing, and say, "Well, the surface. You've spent a good 24 hours up here. How do you feel about it?"
I like this source of light a lot better than the previous one.
The moon is pretty, although I am biased. It is a comfort, I imagine, since it's not as quite as harsh as the sun, but it is beautiful. What made you climb the tree?
I saw the light between the branches and the leaves, and I wanted to see it. The Silver Maiden spoke to me in a dream, and we danced underneath it, and I just wanted to see it for myself,
Can I get
but
a
not through a dream.
Can I get a history roll on the Silver Maiden?
Yes, you may.
Classic Veneros history roll. That was a 21.
All right. So that name, you instantly remembered that another name that she goes by is Illustrahe, the daughter of Lolth, the chaotic good god or goddess of the Drow. She is the only good goddess or god of the Drow.
Illustrahe. That's an interesting one. Haven't run into too well. When you're hunting down slavers, you don't run into a whole lot of drow that talk about Illustrahe.
Well, you don't run into a lot of half, and then Bazaar's gonna stop. Former half drows.
Ah, yes, I hear we are no longer siblings.
Bazaar's gonna crunch her eyebrows together, then look down from the tree. You're half high elf.
Yes, moon elves. All moon elves are high elves.
I did not know this.
Yes, well, the sun elves like to keep us quiet. They're not rather fond of the other races that speckle their race known as high elf. But yes, we are most certainly a high elf. You don't hear about us, no, because normally the sun elves like to keep us really poor so that we can't do anything.
Sounds like the drow with every other race.
Well, it seems there's at least something that the older folks share in common then.
Bazaar's gotta look at the moon again.
As you look at the moon, you see a bright light streak by.
Bazaar would kind of move forward at that, but then kind of like balance herself again and realizing she's up high.
Did
Veneris, you saw it too.
that would be a shooting star. You're supposed to make a wish on it, you know. It's your first one, so I won't rob you of it. It's your wish. You can't tell me though.
I don't know what to wish for.
Veneris is gonna look a little sad, and say, "Well, what's something you want? It can be anything."
Some part of me wishes to be older.
Why?
And Bazaar is going to get really, really quiet and just say, I'd rather not talk about that.
Well, you can't wish specifically for being older since I know it now, and that would break the charm. But once you figure out why exactly you want to be older, then you wish for that instead.
I know why I wish to be older. I just don't want to share it.
Well, that's correct, because then you won't. It'll break the wish, so then it'll all fall apart. So it's important that you keep it secret. So keep it secret, and you make that wish, and I'll go back to camp.
Is this a surface thing?
No, this is powerful magic.
Bizarre's gonna like look down from the tree and like narrow her eyes and just go, "You wouldn't be deceiving me, would you?"
Well, Vizara, despite what others may tell you, having a wish is a pretty good reason to keep going. And with that, I'm going to walk back to the camp.
All right, and you do. And while all that was going on, Grifth and Datris, what were you guys doing? As I know you were discussing food.
Well, Datris would be trying to track rabbits.
All right. Sounds good. So, yeah, go ahead and make, I guess it would be nature. Yeah, go ahead and make a nature check. Try to find some rabbits.
Oh, that was a nat 20.
Okay, yeah. You just walk outside of the alarm, look down, and you already see tracks. So you're making your way, looking for these wabbits, and you see a wabbit den up ahead.
Oh, right. And with my favored terrain, I am able to collect twice. I said that right. Twice
Yes.
as much food while foraging. And while tracking creatures, I know the exact number, sizes, and how long ago they passed through the area. So.
Okay. So you would know that this is probably a family of about 12 rabbits.
Okay.
Based on the tracks.
And they're stuck in a hole?
Yep, it looks like they're in a hole. As it is getting closer to nighttime, although, yeah, they're in the hole.
Datris would sit and wait with her bow ready.
Okay. And you don't wait long before you see a little pink nose pop out, kind of do a hop, and then a whole bunch of others come out. It looks like it was a big litter, and they're all reaching the size where they're about to depart from mother and father. So they're all looking pretty good, but they're all out. They all kind of hop over and just start munching on the grass.
All right.
All right.
So Datris is going to want to try to get 2 of them.
Okay.
So tell me what to do, DM.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
All right. First one is a 26 to hit.
Okay. So you pull back the string and an arrow emerges from when you pull back. You aim your bow and in a swift, you shoot and the arrow goes and pierces through 2 rabbits in one shot. Perfectly through the eye of another. And the others suddenly hearing this arrow get shot and the lack thereof their family members, they start to scuttle and take off in different directions, 2 of them going back in the hole, but you have successfully killed 2 rabbits.
All right. Datris would leave it at that. Being a ranger, she only would take what she needs. So she would take her 2 rabbits and take them away from camp to skin them and gut them. Keep the blood and the mess away from where we're sleeping. Bring them back to cook over Veneros' bonfire.
Okay, and you do so quite skillfully. Going back to these tasks reminds you of previous days when you roamed these lands, and it's kind of a nice reminder. Or a bad one, I guess, depending on how you take it. But you've successfully caught and skinned these rabbits.
I think Datris would take it as both a nice reminder, a bit painful.
All right. And you come back to a camp And we'll say that while you were out hunting, that was also the time when Veneris was walking back. And it is currently all of you at the camp. Vizara, I assume you are still in the tree.
Yep.
But you have food. And a fire. All right, you guys eat the food that has been prepared. Vizara, do you come down at all or no?
I feel like Bizarre would stay up in the tree until someone came and got her, because she'd be just looking at it.
Okay. Well then, until that happens, everyone, you're eating a stew that has been prepared by the rabbits over the bonfire. It tastes quite good, and it is now reaching the tiring hour where all of you are feeling the weight of walking or riding on horseback. And Eclipse just comes up and lays down right behind you, Datris, and kind of nudges you, and then puts his head down to go to sleep.
My precious baby.
You can feel the breath rise and fall as he goes into a slumber.
So Bizarre is still up at the tree?
Yes.
Okay, so I would take a bowl of soup, and I would walk over towards the tree that she's in, and call up to her. We made dinner if you're interested. I brought it over here because I wasn't sure if you wanted to stay in the tree or not.
Is it Mike and Ed soup?
No, not quite. But it is really delicious. You've been up there a while and we've been traveling. I feel like you should probably eat something.
Bizarre wouldn't say anything. She would just climb down.
Okay. You successfully climb down in a swift landing, and you're standing in front of Tamarissa.
I look down now at her and hand. Wait, is the bowl really hot? Like, I wouldn't think it was
It's
that
warm.
hot. Okay.
And being a dragonborn, it's not really affecting you, even if it was super hot.
So I kind of like gingerly hand her the bowl because I'm not sure if it's super hot to her or not. So I kind of hand it over to her. Just give it a try. If you don't like it, at least it'll give you some energy for tomorrow. Are you planning on sleeping up there, or would you like to walk back towards the camp?
I probably should go back to the camp. My alarm doesn't go past 30 feet.
That would be great for all of us, I feel. Let's make our way back over there.
So Vizara is just going to be carrying this bowl with her.
Yeah.
And as she's carrying it, she's just going to be staring at it to make sure that it doesn't slosh over.
Okay.
I smiled down at this
Smell
and
the
make sure
aroma.
that she doesn't trip over anything as she walks. It's funny seeing
You
Bizarre
all
here because in the Underdark she knows kind of not she knows the territory, she knows the terrain, and she seemed a lot older than she in fact is when we were down there. And now that we're up here, I kind of looked down at her and realized that, like, number one, I probably look like a gigantic child stumbling around in the Underdark. But she's handling this quite well, but I do realize kind of how small she is in every sense of the word. But, like, in a very respectful way. I'm like, damn, that's pretty bold.
Yeah. And you guys sit down around the fire, you eat, chat, discuss bits of the travel along, and it is the tiring hour, and I need to know who is staying up for watch first.
I will stay up for a watch first. Oh wait, I need to rest because I can't do the short rest. I mean, I'll sleep then, I guess.
Dake
Okay.
stay up, and as she stays up, like, she's paying attention, even if she's doing another activity, because she's in her favorite terrain.
Yes.
But, like, as she stays up, she's going to be leaning up against Eclipse and just, like, absentmindedly, like, brushing his mane with her fingers.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll. Was anybody else staying up with her?
Vizara would look to Veneros and just say, would you like to stay up or me?
Veneros says, I'll flip you for it.
Vizara's going to scrunch her eyebrows together and just be like, flip.
Daedrus is going to speak up and say, what, you guys don't trust me?
Well, it looks like she's all good, and Veneros is gonna lay down or not. I guess I don't lay down, but go into trance at that.
All right.
Do you guys sit when you go into trance?
Yeah, You can describe how you trance if you'd like.
I've never
Upside
thought
down.
about it.
You're just like standing and then you just go.
I picture Venero's sort of doing that thing where he like stretches out and he has a soft incline on the upper part of his body with his arms behind his head, sort of behind, almost like you would look up at the stars.
Okay. Nice. And you go into your trance. Vizara, are you staying awake or trancing?
Zara would be on the fence, checking her alarm spell. It doesn't say that I need to be conscious.
yeah,
it keeps
you
me
can-
awake if I'm asleep.
Yeah, you can trance with alarm.
She'd probably stay up. But she's still looking around.
Okay, so you two stay awake. Both of you go ahead and roll perception for me.
That was a 19 for Daedrus.
Okay.
And a 10 for Bizarra.
Okay. Your watch goes by uneventful. It is a quiet night with just the wind playing the strings of the blades of grass.
So Bizarra.
Zara would be really soft-spoken and seeing how everybody's asleep or in trance and just say, "Is Daedrus your adult name?"
It is.
What was your name before?
Aliana. It was a bit too pretty for my line of work. And she's going to say that with a slight smirk.
I don't know what my name would be.
We don't have to decide it right now. You have time.
And Bizarra's gonna just keep looking around and just say, "I haven't seen colors like this before."
Do you like it?
I definitely like this part better than the previous part. It's easier on my eyes.
The nighttime. It's
Nighttime.
different. Yes, night.
I'm excited to go to the Moonshoore Isles.
As am I. I haven't been there before.
I'm hoping. Go ahead.
I was just going to say it would be new for the both of us.
I'm hoping to find a temple there.
What kind of temple?
For Illustrae. Bizarre's gonna look at the moon and just say, it would seem fitting for a temple to be at the Moonshoore Isles.
Would Daedrus know anything about Illustrae? I don't think she
You can
would.
roll history,
Yeah.
but she, as I say, you can roll, but she wouldn't, like offhand.
I mean, that was a 16 history roll. She might have heard
Okay,
the
so
name,
you've
but-
heard the name, yeah, but you don't know any details. Just that it's definitely a drow thing.
Yeah. I must admit, I don't know much about Illustrae.
That's canon. That's canon.
And Bizarre would be looking
Yeah.
still and just say, I don't know as much as I would like to now. Being in the Underdark, it was almost forced upon us to learn about Loth and only Loth. Kulu still made time to study Veyron. That would be Elshai's brother.
I see. I must admit, I'm not very well versed in the different gods and goddesses. I rejected faith for quite a good while. But
As have I.
it's changing. For me. For you as well, I suppose.
What changed you?
Well, you know of Gallither. I miss him dearly. So when we were down in Gauntlgrim, I decided to enter the Wildmother Temple. He worshipped her. I did not. So I decided to see what it was all about. And since then, she has visited me in a dream. And I felt her presence when I went back.
I remember your story of Gallither. How you met.
Mm-hmm. Admittedly, being in the Underdark was a good distraction. We never ventured there, so it was new. But he taught me about the grasslands and the forests. Everything I know here is thanks to him.
Would you be willing to pass some of that knowledge on to me?
Daetrys was going to smirk a little bit and look down at her boots and say, I don't know if I'm as good as a teacher as he was, but I can do my best.
Zara's gonna nod in thanks and look up back at the moon.
All right. And with that, Tamarissa, during your slumber, a soft and motherly voice presents itself to your mind. Tamarissa, why do you abandon your oath? You hear the motherly voice of Tamara in your dream. You were given the chance to know the Betrayer King's location, and you denied it for a blade, for a weapon.
I felt that if this weapon fell into the wrong hands, it would bring about more destruction than he could have ever brought to Tal'Dorei. To the entire Upperlands would have been wiped out.
You believe a single blade could do this?
It's not a single blade. It's one of many, but it's one step in the right direction for those who seek destruction of this land. Would you have me have let it fall in the wrong hands? What if it had somehow gotten to him? I'm discovering so many new things about the destruction of my city, my people.
A pause. I am a goddess of good, Tamarissa. I have never given a pact of vengeance before, nor will I again. Do not make me regret what I have sacrificed in giving this to you. You say that this blade would have caused destruction. I will acknowledge your judgment. But since you denied the information to keep that weapon, you abandoned your oath. But, my child, instead of taking back what I have given you, you have an added task. Find the creature named Flint Cinderbrooks. Find him and end him. I do not know anything but his name as it came to me in a vision. But nothing but death and fire surrounded it. My beautiful child, slay this being. Do whatever and everything you must do, and I will forgive you for your decision to prolong the Betrayer King's life.
Yes, my lady, I will find and slay this man, whatever it takes. I'm sorry to have disappointed you. It seems my judgment was clouded.
Do not question the decision that you made, my dear. You seemed so earnest in it. You have to stand for something.
I'm hoping that the next part of my journey will remind me of that.
You are growing, and I cannot wait to see the light that you bring. And the voice goes quiet, and Tamarissa, you open your eyes, and your holy symbol is a light and is fading back to its regular dimly lit metal. And Datris, as you said, you can pay attention to these things. You saw this holy symbol alight, and Tamarissa, wake up briefly. You still need to get the rest of your rest, Tamarissa, but you did wake up.
Stress.
Hashtag adulting.
Hashtag up a little problem.
It is now second watch. So Veneros, unless anybody wants to say anything left, you would be awake.
Veneris is gonna kind of stretch and say, I guess it's just me then. And say, I hope you cast your spell well. Bizarre. I'm not exactly the ranger or the druid when it comes to making camp. Yeah, so I guess I'll go and watch.
All right. Go ahead and roll perception for me.
22.
Okay.
For Zara, I would like to do a short rest at the end.
So you're not taking a trance?
No.
Okay, so you're just taking a short rest. Okay.
But not now. Towards the middle half of the watch. Second
Okay.
one.
Are you also going to be looking around, keeping an eye out?
Yeah, Vizara's just been looking around this entire time.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception then.
That'll be a 17.
Okay. So the night goes by uneventful. But to those of you who are watching, I know that people do exhaustion differently. Vizara, you would be going into exhaustion, so you have disadvantage on all checks.
Okay, let me mark that down.
Mm-hmm. So, the night goes by uneventful. Vizara, Veneris, if either of you want to say anything, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, we're going to get into the second day.
I think I'm good. I said my.
All right. So the sun rises, and with it, all of you awakening to your second day of travel. Lying ahead of you and all around you, quite frankly, is nothing but grass and boulders. Datris, if you want to go ahead, or if Grifth, either of you want to roll survival to get you guys on the path, we're going to pick two other people to roll to see how they help out and how the day goes.
Really quick, since it's my favored terrain, we can't get lost by magical means if I'm here.
Okay.
So, I don't know. Yeah. Okay, that's all it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can go today.
Okay, so tell me what you're going to be using and how it's going to be helping, and go ahead and roll. And who's also going to be doing this today? Grifth and Veneros already went, so either Datris or Bizarra.
I can go, unless Bizarre wants to go.
Seeing how Bizarra is a little tired, she probably would prefer Datris to go, because Bizarra is still just like looking around.
Okay.
Okay, so
right.
I'm gonna roll for athletics, so strength. And I'm just going to do my best at, moving things out of the way and helping people carry things. And obviously, if we encounter anybody on the way, I'd like to be able to step in and take action against them.
Okay.
General
Right. So,
Tamarissa
you
badassery.
move. Yeah. So you move some logs or boulders out of the way from narrow passageways as you go through the grasslands. What'd
I
you
rolled a
roll?
nat 20 also, just so.
Nice. So easy. You're just like, meh. Yeah. Easily moving things out of the way, helping people carry their packs. At one point, you've got 3 of your companions' packs on you before you give them back. And Datris, what are you rolling?
Being up on my high horse, I'm going to do rolling perception to keep watch, and since it's my favorite terrain, I get advantage because it's wisdom related. So
Perfect.
that first one is the nat 20, so I guess I'm done.
Yep. Yeah. That's about as good as it gets.
Yep.
So, it's so with the nat 20, you see a pack of wild boars, but you steal the party away from their path to avoid this animal herd. But it's not just the boars that you heard. You also hear a cart that is moving through the grasslands, and with a natural 20 looking up ahead, you can see that it's 2 carts chained together, and somebody's at the front, natural 20, so it looks like a medium-sized humanoid creature with 2 horses at the front steering it through the grasslands.
Citrus would make mention of this to the party, and she would say she's not sure if they're good or bad, and we can avoid them if we would prefer. Datris, personally, would prefer to avoid them.
It's only one.
What are you guys doing?
I agree.
I'm not bothered.
I don't like people.
Team introvert.
Yeah.
I mean, it's one person, but like they are. Let's face it, we're not exactly on the road here, so the fact that they're out here is a little interesting to me.
I too am intrigued, but if we must go, we can go.
All right. Are you guys avoiding them, or are you approaching? Let me know.
I think it's a vote. You want to vote?
No. Just no.
I say we avoid them. It is in our current best interest. We are not lacking heavily in anything. Nor do we know what they're up to, as Veneros pointed out.
Yeah, Datris would vote avoid.
They're being sketchy as we are.
Staying away.
All right. So you guys steer away from both a pack of wild boars as well as this 2-chained cart that's moving by. And the rest of the day goes on, and before you know it, another one has passed as the sun begins to set once more. And if you guys would like, you can set up camp again. I won't make you roll for it, but you can let me know what you do as.
String alarm again around the camp.
Okay, so you string alarm around. You have your 30-foot circle. You guys all pile in. And do we want to say the same order of staying awake?
Bizarre would probably pass out first.
Okay. So Bizarra, you get your trance, and unless there's anything that anybody wants to do, I'm going to move on to the next day. So let me know if you want to do or say anything.
Tamarissa's a little tentative about falling to sleep just in case she is visited once again by Tamara.
Mm-hmm.
But the exhaustion of carrying things and being big and strong today eventually takes over and she decides to rest.
Yes, it does. All right.
Great.
And the night does go by uneventful for both watches. And the third day of travel arrives, only this morning it is gray, and the clouds fill the sky, blocking the sun's rays. They grow darker in some areas, and it's a slight chill to the air. The rain begins, and before long, you are all soaked from the downpour as you are walking along the grasslands. It isn't thick enough to make sight difficult, but the water droplets are fat and explode as they hit your clothes. Eclipse, however, seems to be enjoying it as he just moves his head and takes in the water. So walking through the rain and just generally keeping an eye out, Grifth, you would start to see a discrepancy in the terrain. You especially would notice this as you are closer to the ground. What was once long stretches of grass and an occasional boulder and rock formation, you can see that there are more plant life and small trees beginning to grow. And you would know especially that you are getting close.
We are getting quite close to our destination. The woodlands, that is.
The terrain change that once appeared gradual suddenly becomes a harsh line at the end of your day. And after a few more hours of travel, you all see standing in front of you a thick forest wall stretching for miles on either side. The trees reach high heights with thick, leafy tops and wide-girthed trunks. The land underneath the trees is drier than the outside where you stand, but it's still damp nonetheless. And Grifth, it is exactly as you remember it, this wall.
It's breathtaking. I just sort of take it in. It's nice to see just the lofty trees, and as their canopy hangs over the forest floor. It's comforting to Grifth.
All right, you are all currently standing outside of this forest, and Datrus, you are atop of Eclipse. What do you guys do?
Well, I feel like we came the right direction. Are we confident in our abilities to navigate the forest? I look pointedly at Grifth since he assured us earlier.
Well, I know if we go straight through, we'll make it to the coast. And from there, we should be able to see the Moonshoore Isles.
Venera speaks up. Where on the coast exactly will we end up?
East of the Moonshoore Isles, I would say. Northeast.
Pull up the map.
So we don't have.
Yeah. Yep. You can, well, Veneros, oh wait, you don't have keen mind, never mind. You all have a general understanding of the map that you looked. You guys looked at it for a while, but you don't have it with you.
None of us wrote it down.
Should have taken a picture.
Yeah.
Well, frankly, we haven't been led astray yet, so there's no reason to doubt our guides yet. Is there any dangers we should be on the lookout for in the forest?
I mean, the forest is full of creatures certainly not to be taken lightly. We should have our wits about us, but as long as we stay vigilant, we should be okay.
Are there any thieves in the forest?
There are thieves everywhere.
There's always thieves.
Bizarre's just gonna kind of be like, yeah, true. I could look out for obvious thieves' traps. I'm assuming they'd be the same up here as they would be down below.
For the most part.
Telltale signs.
Is it at the end of the second day, or was it
This is the end of the third day.
the third day? Okay.
So it's about to get dark.
You would know that, well, Datrus and Grifth, you guys would be aware that maybe it's going to be about 3 more hours until dark. Give or take.
Would you want to continue into the forest or make camp here on the edge?
I think that you all are more comfortable in the forest, and frankly, while there's daylight, we should probably make what progress we can. So I'm fine with going a little farther in if everyone else is.
I agree.
I agree as well. And to make as much progress as possible, I'm going to cast Conjure Animals
Okay.
and conjure 4 war horses for everyone else.
In the forest.
All right.
Okay.
So 4 horses emerge. Well, do you want to describe actually how you cast this spell and how it happens? Yeah, you should do that.
As I'm preparing it, I raise my hands, and the magic sort of comes forth from my fingers into 4 distinct, almost wisps of magic, and slowly they form into what we would know as horses. One is light brown with sort of cream-colored accents, tail and hair. 2 of them are black, jet black. And the last one is pure white. And that is mine.
And that is mine. All right, and Griff, you conjure these horses, and you are all now presented with 4 horses. Eclipse is definitely like a little confused.
Yeah, I was wondering how Eclipse would react to horses just showing up.
He definitely like goes to nudge one, but then just he knows something's weird.
Just wait till I turn into a horse.
Yeah.
Wait, are you doing that too?
No.
Okay. That would look fun.
Veneris will hop on a horse and look at Daedrus and said, "Well, looks like you're not the only one who gets to ride now."
Veneris, I'm pretty sure you've done plenty of riding.
Oh.
Bizarre's gonna blush and just be like,
Even Tamara's jaw drops a little bit.
Veneris will have a huge grin on his face. And sort of admit defeat and just stay silent.
Okay.
Tamarissa chooses one of the 2 black horses, 2 very dark black horses. And she's pretty familiar with riding horses from the military. It's just been a while. But she climbs on top, saddles up, and is sitting there.
All right.
She's kind of looking at the horse and just feeling kind of regal.
Yeah. All right, so you all don your horses and begin to walk or trot inside of the forest before you. And you can hear as your horses walk and break an occasional branch on the trees, but the walk itself is quite calming with the clops. You travel for about 2 hours before Daedrus and Griff. You start to hear a faint roar up ahead and what sounds like cracking tree branches.
would my ears pick up on it too?
You can go ahead and roll perception. It's just because this is their terrain, essentially. Daedrus' favorite, and this is Griff's home.
24.
Okay, so yeah, you would hear that as well.
Bizarre would just stand up straighter.
Griff, this is your home. What is that?
Would Griff be familiar with the type of animal a roar like that might come from?
Make a nature check.
Nature. +2 on nature. That's a 17.
17? Yes. You know that roar. It is one of a treant. And what's making you a bit nervous is the cracking of tree branches accompanied by that sound.
I would relay this to everyone that it's most certainly a treant. I would like to cast locate animals or plants. And I can choose a specific beast or plant, and it tells me what direction it's in within 5 miles.
Okay. So you cast it, and you don't get just one, you get 2 pings of treants up ahead. You also get a couple of little animals along the ground, but you're specifically focusing on that. And they're about a mile ahead.
There are 2 Trents about a mile ahead of us.
Trents.
They may be fighting. Bizarra, Trents are trees, but they can speak, talk. They are...
Like Mike and Ed.
Yes.
I suggest not climbing them.
They usually would prefer that you didn't. But yes, very large beings that take on the form of trees.
You hear them fighting? Do they often fight? Trees?
Not usually, but the cracking of the limbs is usually an indication. An old friend of mine was actually a Trent, a mentor of mine many years ago. I haven't seen him in quite some time, and Trents are few and far between. And personally, I would like to find him.
Well, perhaps it's worth stealthily investigating. The sounds ahead of us. I mean, this does seem to be the direction we're going. We certainly don't want to end up in the middle of any gigantic tree person squabble.
Upon hearing the word stealth, Bizarre has kind of slipped off her horse and is already on the ground, ready to go forward. She's just kind of excited because it's new. It's a new place to explore.
Then if everyone is in favor, I would love to make our way in that direction carefully.
I stay to the back to protect us from the rear, but also to... there was no good way to say that. But also because of my history with being large and clumsy, considering I'm on a horse.
All right.
Can Venera?
So...
Never mind. Continue.
Okay. So if you're all stealthing, can you go ahead and roll a group stealth check for me?
And Grifth is going to use Pass Without a Trace on us.
Okay, good to know. So add plus 10.
To all of us?
To everyone within range.
Yep.
That's going to give me a 10.
Bizarre would be really excited, so she'd probably run along foot on the ground.
Okay.
Oh, God. It's an 18 for me.
That's a
Like,
non,
with the 10.
Good.
With the 10, Jesse.
that's
With
a
the
non-natural 20 for me.
Okay.
Griff only rolled a 12, so
27.
All right.
Beatrice rolled a 34. Do we need to roll for our horses?
I was going to take what you guys did and then divide it by 2. So that way we don't have to roll too much.
Okay.
Okay. So, guiding your horses, you are moving quite stealthily. Bizarra, you are walking on your feet, but your horse kind of follows behind, mimicking you as it is a magic being. And coming up ahead and crouching down, coming through the forest, you can see before you 2 of these gargantuan trees moving as if they were alive. They wear faces and have 4 arms, each thicker branch than the ones atop. And as they swing rocks forward, they're not throwing them at each other. You turn your head and you see a monstrous being, one of orange fur, 2 big horns that come out from its face, a manically disgusting face with huge teeth, claws for fingers, hooves on the feet, and it is tall, and it just bellows down and claws at one of the treants and then turns and charges forward at another, knocking it down onto the ground and ripping a limb off. It seems they're not fighting each other, but something greater, something, Veneros, you would know, demonic.
Bizarro would send back a message and just say, they're not fighting each other.
So I see it, right?
Yeah, you all see it.
I would
Can I make
immediately-
an Arcana check on it.
Are you trying to discern what it is?
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm trying to do.
So roll. I'll let you roll either history or nature.
Your history for sure. Oh no. That is a rare Veneris miss. That's a 13 on a history check.
Okay. So a 13, you don't know details about it, but you know the name. It's a Garistro, and it looks horribly wounded, just like the trees. It seems they've been fighting for a little while, but this thing is a Garistro.
Tyler knows what that is.
Veneros doesn't.
Veneros doesn't. Veneros is going to softly whisper to kind of like the immediate area, whoever his group is, and say, I don't know exactly what that is, but looks like they're fighting it out. If we're going to intervene, we're opening ourselves up to something that I don't really know what it is. Granted, it is hurt. How valuable is it? How important is it to protect these strengths?
It's very important to me.
Well, then I suggest we have a plan before we just go in guns blazing.
I agree.
Perhaps
Think quick.
the Grifth could mold earth around the treants and possibly cage it in, so we can have the advantage from the high ground.
I was considering using my wall of thorns around the beast.
While you are all discussing this, the snapping of branches happens again, and the treant that was just charged at falls to the ground. The cry that follows it is one of immense pain, and you can tell that it is fading as the Garistro starts to look like it's about to ram again. The other treant that's still standing picks up a giant boulder, and Grifth, looking up at them from the sudden sound, you recognize both of these treants. You weren't close with them like you were with your friend, but you've met them before. You know that this is Kisai and Balanos.
I immediately cast Wall of Thorns around the beast.
Okay. Then we're going to get into initiative. If you guys want to go get a drink or go to the bathroom, go ahead.
I'm going to grab a drink and food. Hold on.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead
Do you want me to go ahead
and change
roll
the
initiative
camera.
So you can mark down.
Yeah. If everybody wants to roll initiative real quick.
Are you ready to fight? Are you going to help me fight and win?
That will be a non-nat 20.
Okay.
I got a 13.
It's a non-nat 20 from me as well.
All right.
So is it dexterity or what?
Dexterity.
+1. I'm a warlock.
Yeah.
+7.
Wait, for dexterity?
Yeah,
It can only be +5.
mine says
Like
plus.
that's the highest it can go, dexterity.
I'm looking at saving throws.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, she's a rogue. She's still going to have a higher dexterity.
Yeah.
+4. +4.
Yeah,
sorry.
yes. I just wanted to make sure it was like, wait, that's impossible, I'm pretty sure. Unless we got into like
Looking at
God
saving
level
throws,
stuff.
not at the.
Griff is
It
a
should say
8.
it's the top of D&D Beyond 2 initiative modifier.
Okay, so Griff's an 18, and Datris, what's yours?
A 12.
Okay.
Here. This one. Yes, please.
Then that is Bizarra. Oh, first Griff.
I'm going to go get some water. I will be back in a moment.
Okay, so orders Bizarra, Veneros, Griff, Tamarissa, and Datris.
That you know of.
Okay.
Well, you wouldn't know that until everybody went, but
I know, but like,
yeah,
as I'm
essentially,
saying-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and switch to the battle cune.
Okay.
Okay, so Griff, you cast Wall of Thorns around it. Go ahead and tell me what that does and what I need to do, if anything.
It has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Dexterity. That is a natural 20.
Fuck. Well, he still takes half damage.
Okay.
So that's 3, 10, 14, 21.
And up next is Bizarra, so know what you want to do next.
Bizarro would like to cast Fairy Fire on the creature attacking the Trent.
Okay. Let me get this damage first, and then we'll do that.
Half 35, so like 17 or 18.
Half of 35? Okay.
And for every 1 foot of movement, it costs 4.
Okay.
So if he wants to move 5 feet, that costs 20.
Yes. Okay. Nice. So, you do this, and you are all in the middle of talking about a plan before you hear the crack, the fall, and the cry, and you just see Griff turn, acknowledge this, and raise his staff and slam it on the ground before this wall of thorns comes cascading from vines from the end of it. They wrap around, creating this wall around the Garistro just as it's about to charge, and as the thorns cascade around it, it roars again, bellowing. Bizarra, what are you doing?
She's going to cast Fairy Fire, which she does not need to roll for. It just needs to make another dexterity saving throw.
Okay, a dex save. Okay, that is a 3, so it fails.
Yes.
So
it is, outlined in blue. She's going to keep it at blue, and we have advantage on attack rolls against it for the next turn.
Yes. Okay. So this Garistro is now outlined in this bluish color, and it's a strange sight coming from a demon, this blue and like glow coming off of its shoulders. Are you going to move, or do you want to do anything else? You're right here.
Yeah, Bizarro would go up to that first tree closest to it and stealthily and hide behind it.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead and roll to hide.
I believe. Oh, I got roll to hide. Excuse me.
Yeah, and that would be your bonus action, and movement, unless you wanted to move more.
That is a non-nat 20 on.
Okay. So as far as you know, you're hidden.
Ooh, great. As far as that would be my bonus action.
Mm-hmm. And Fairy Fire was your action.
Just hiding. She's just hiding for the next turn.
Okay. And Veneros, you are next. And then Griff, you're on deck.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery at the Garistro, and in Abyssal, I'm gonna say, you're so freaking bad you can't even kill a tree.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for an attack, or do I have to roll?
It's a Wisdom saving throw.
Okay,
Datrys,
Wisdom.
by the way, knows exactly what you said.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That is a non-natural 20.
Yeah, well, that's it.
Okay.
But I still think it still takes the damage. Let me verify.
All right.
Oh no, it's just safe. It's just cool. It's safe.
Okay. It's just cool. Okay. Next is Bolanos. Bolanos picks up a boulder that's next to him, raises it up, and chucks it at the Garistro, and it does have advantage because of Fairy Fire. Okay. Okay. So this boulder misses the Garistro as it goes flying, knocking into another tree, and the tree is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 closer to the Garistro, but it's still hesitant as to this thing that just erupted around it. Next is Griff with Tamarissa on deck.
Griff is also going to cast Stinking Cloud over the same area.
Okay.
That's a third level.
Griff just got her hand on it.
There.
That's what's over here.
20-foot sphere. He has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
I see those cards.
Yee!
Constitution. Whoa. That is 23.
Yeah, he passed.
Okay. Does anything happen?
On a failed save.
Gross.
Creatures that. No, I don't think anything happens if he makes the save.
Okay. And Tamarissa, you are next. Griff, do you want to move at all, actually? Or are you good there?
I'm gonna stay where I am.
Okay. Tamarissa, what are you doing?
I am going to cast Shield of Faith on the standing Trent.
Okay.
Shield of Faith. A shimmering field appears around a creature of your choice within range, granting it a +2 bonus to AC for the duration. It's a 10-minute spell, so, hopefully that will
All
be.
right.
And then I'm going to move towards the Trent that's on the ground. Which one's me? Can you point at me?
Yes,
I'm
you are
purple.
right here.
I'm purple one. I should know that. Okay, so I'm going to move around and try to kind of move around the purple.
You can get to about right there.
Can I move up close to it?
That's as far as you can get with your movement.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm still kind of behind it, so. Okay, I'm good.
Yeah. Okay. Next is Datris.
You're muted.
With Wall of Thorns, Datris wouldn't be able to get a shot in, correct?
So he's not
It is a
intimidated.
thick wall. Yeah.
So yeah, Datris is still on Eclipse also, right?
That is true. You would still be on a cliff.
I am going to ride Eclipse around. So it's Warhorse has 60 feet of movement, so I'm going to ride him
Yes.
around so I'm behind the tree line and also sort of like behind the fallen ent.
Okay.
And I am going to ready for when. Actually, I'm gonna Hunter's Mark it up.
Okay.
And then I'll ready myself for if he decides to break through the stuff.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, our screens are mixed up. I just noticed that.
Sorry.
How did that happen?
Okay. So next is the Garistro. The Garistro just got suddenly attacked by this wall of thorns, and he is not aware that you are all there. So it is going to move 15 feet forward, or at least try to. So that would be 20, and then 20, 40. So that's his movement. Because you said 5 feet is 20?
Yeah, for every 5 feet he moves, that costs him 20.
Okay, so he's just right on the edge of this wall of thorns then.
Is he still technically in it?
I'm gonna say yes, he's still technically in it.
Okay.
Yeah, Datris wouldn't shoot then. She's waiting for him to be like
At
completely
the end
out.
of his turn, he does.
So she
Okay. And being right there, it is going to take a swing or a multi-attack at the tree in front of it. So it's going to make 2 fists and 1 with its hoof. So that is 31 to hit. 22. Oops, I dropped that. And a 19 to hit. So all of those hit the treant, and the treant takes, and you just see the Garistro just ripping at it, limb from limb. There's leaves flying off, branches being broken as this treant cries in pain. It is still standing, however. Next is Vizara.
He has to make his constitution.
All right.
And his
Constitution.
His constitution is a non-natural 20.
Okay, so he passed the stinking cloud, so he's not poisoned from that, but he also has to make where's the dex? Dexterity throw. Okay.
Okay. Dexterity, that is a 4.
Okay, so he takes full damage.
Okay.
So that is.
And on deck is Vizara, then Veneros.
That's 30 points of damage.
Okay. The treant on the ground is going to make a death saving throw. That is a 3. That is 1 fail. Next is Vizara. What are you doing?
Bizarra would throw her dagger of returning at the beast attacking the trench.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack roll at the Garistro with advantage.
Say sneak attack.
It is sneak attack because he doesn't know that you are there.
Okay, cool. And that will be at 18.
18, that just misses. As you fling your dagger, the thorns that are still coalescing, it just goes right by. But the Garistro turns its head, and the dagger comes back and poofs into your hand. The Garistro is aware that there are other beings here besides this treant.
Bizarre is seeing that it's aware now. She's gonna move to the far side of the tree, away from the rest of the group.
Over
Out
here?
from behind the tree, yep.
Okay, 5, 10. Okay.
And she's gonna just call out to it and just go, come at me.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Oh, that was a nat 20.
Okay. You just see and hear the of its neck turning to look towards the being that just called towards it. Next is Veneros.
So seeing the sort of its attention get dragged away, I'm gonna take this opportunity and I'm gonna try to use Chill Touch.
All right.
Yeah.
Nat 20.
A nat 20?
Yeah.
Chill touch. It worked. Okay, so this
First
skeletal
time.
hand,
Oh,
a skeletal hand comes out of the ground and claws across the Garistro. Go ahead and roll for damage.
So.
Yeah, do you want to just bitch slap him?
Yeah, I wanted to bitch slap him for sure. And the 2d8 I rolled was
Okay.
14, so I guess double 14 damage.
Yeah, 28.
Holy
Veneros, how do you want to do this?
Alright.
You just bitch slap him to death.
So yeah, I wanna I want the hand to bitch slap him, and then I want it to like pull out a finger and like stick it down its throat and then rip its finger through like the lower jaw and chest area.
Okay, and it does, and you guys hear the sickening crunch of the jaw cracking from the finger ripping it out after the bitch slap. The treant looks very confused, but the Garistro just before falling flat onto its stomach, still inside wall of thorns. And you see that this creature starts to melt into black sludge. But we are currently out of initiative.
Veneris wants to run over and try to get a sample of the black sludge.
Tamara,
Okay. Make a sleight of hand.
Taylor, that is.
Super trippy, right? I gotta get 2 cameras.
You do.
Well, the good rolls couldn't last. Yeah, that's a 3.
A 3? Okay, you go to scoop up some of the black sludge, but it melts into the grass, and you can see that the grass that it melted upon is dead.
I'm gonna head over to the fallen Trent. You should probably come here.
Okay.
I was about to say I'm right next to her.
Okay. As you guys do that, you come out of the woodworks. Essentially, the Trant that is alive raises a rock and is like,
And I call and say, Bolanos, no, it's me, Grifth.
You know me? And he leans down, and you see his wood begin to smile, and he looks at you, Griff, and he says, "It's little tree, Griff."
Yes, it is. Let me help our friend, and I cast Cure Wounds on. I'm sorry, I didn't get his name written down.
Kisai. That is Kissiae.
Kasai.
Mm-hmm.
A-I-E.
As he stands up and drops the boulder into the dirt, Bolanos looks around at these little trees, as he called you, walking out. Why are you here?
We're making our way to the Moonshoore Isles. And I saw fit to make our way through the southern woodlands. Where did this creature come from?
These bigger trees of red have been coming out of nowhere. They break the trees. They kill the forest. And as you cast Cure Wounds on Kisai, you see the bark begin to flutter and look around. And as it does, it looks up at Bolanos, and Bolanos reaches a giant, meaty tree hand out and pulls up Kisai, who comes up off the ground and stands up and turns and looks at all of you. These 2 gargantuan beings, one of them a long beard of moss, looks down at you all.
Do you know why?
I know you, Kisai says to you, Griff. You are little tree Griff.
That's me. How are you, Kasai?
I have seen better days.
As have I.
Vernock would love to see little tree Griff.
I would love to see Vernock. Could you take us to him?
We can. Who are these trees?
These small trees are some friends of mine. They travel with me, and I assure you they are good company.
One of them kind of looks down at you, especially Tamarissa. Kisai looks down. I don't see your leaves.
I look to Greg. Am I supposed to have leaves?
No, it's okay.
He stands up and Balanos turns to you, Daedrus, and just kind of crouches. You know the forest. You have the green in your eyes.
Daedrus would just bow her head like respectfully.
They stand up a bit taller and they turn to all of you, and Balanos nudges his head and says, "Little trees of Grifth are welcome at the Rosewood Grove." And they turn and begin to walk, taking long strides into the forest.
I suggest y'all keep up. I pick up a light jog to stay behind them.
Okay, and they are, like, their strides are long. And so you see Grifth, being a dwarf, like, really moving for an old guy.
I'm
Kind of the horses still there?
Yeah, Daedrus trots up easily on.
The other horses aren't still there. Technically, that only lasted for an hour, but
Yeah. So those horses are gone. But, so you're all running.
Marin's thoroughly put out about running. It's like, is this the reward I get for saving that treant's life? I have to run a marathon now?
Zara's gonna roll her eyes and just keep running.
Is Veneros complaining out loud?
Yes.
Oh, he is.
Oh, so Daedrus, hearing him complain, she's gonna roll her eyes and slowly clips up and like reach her hand down for him to like mount up double.
There's no way in hell that Veneros is going to turn down an opportunity to ride double with Daedrus. So
All right.
he gets up on that horse and he's hugging her tight.
Okay. And you guys are riding double on Eclipse. The treants that are walking, Balanos stops as Kisai continues to walk, and Balanos turns and reaches down a hand and gestures for you, Grifth, to hop on the hand.
I do so. I hop on.
He picks you up and brings you up and begins to walk, holding you in his hand as the rest of you are running or riding Eclipse.
Tamarissa's really happy to be running again and not sneaking stealthily. Like she's she's really, really exhausted and she can feel all of her armor like sticking to her scales, but she's just like enjoying using her lungs and not creeping around in the dark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys are plowing through this forest, these treants making the way through. And about 5 minutes of constant running happens before you see Kisai in the front, standing back towards you all as she turns. And she looks at you all and says, as Balanos arrives and all of you do, "Welcome to the Rosewood." And she turns and you arrive in this area, Grifth, up top in the trees, a sight that you've seen before. Tall, narrow trees with huge bushels of leaves at the top. They are just glowing from the clouds up above. There's an occasional leaf that dances down, and you see why it's called the Rosewood Grove, as along the tree trunks, fat roses of greens and blues grow from the trunk as it cascades up. And entering in, Griff, and looking again at this site that you've seen before, you see one of the trees move, and turning, you see a very familiar face and a long beard made of moss. Balanos. Kisai. Are you little
tree, Grifth.
And Vernock approaches and looks at you, Griff.
I see the forest in you.
But I'm happy to be back in the forest. It's so great.
Vernock extends his hand.
It has been a time, Griff.
An
A
age.
long time. Your trees have gone gray, or your leaves have gone gray.
He says as he pokes your beard and your hair.
That's what happens.
Not to us trees.
And Vernock looks down at the littler trees.
Who are they?
These trees are friends of mine. And they travel with me.
I see.
And he looks up at Kisai, who is currently missing 2 arms. And he walks over and puts a big branched hand along the side of her face. And you see Vernock begin to glow. Yellow fireflies come out of his bark skin. Roses begin to bloom across his body. And you see Kisai grow 2 limbs and is restored to her full tree self. Vernock releases his hand, which for a moment became embedded in her skin as a...
You need water.
And Kisai nods and turns, but before she does, she says,
Little trees save Kisai and Blanos. The ugly tree is dead.
and she turns and walks, seemingly to get water.
Venera speaks up. Yes, that was actually me. Just so it's clear, I did it, and I did it with chill touch. I just want to point that out. Okay, cool beans.
Zara is gonna quietly say, "It almost sounds like you're compensating for something."
I tell Vernock, that little tree talks a lot.
Yes, and very fast. You killed ugly tree.
Yes, we
He
did.
says to you,
Do you know where these trees are coming from?
he looks a little sad.
Ugly trees have been coming out of the west. There have been more, and more recently, destroying the forest and those that live under the canopies. We guard the forest, but they keep coming.
Do you know why they're coming here?
No one knows why the trees move this way.
Are they taking anything? Does it seem like they're after anything? Are they just showing up and pitching a fight?
They plague the forest.
And Vernock leans down and puts his hand down to invite you all onto his hand. He is the biggest tree, by the way, out of all of them. And as he's bending down, those of you on the ground can see in his shoulder, there's a light inside of his shoulder. And Tamarissa, being that close, it looks like there's a bed in his shoulder.
A bed?
I again glance at Griff, who I assume is in his other hand, or are we all getting on the same hand?
He's offering for you all to get on the same hand, but Griff is in his other. So Griff would be a bit higher than you all.
So I glance up at Griff.
I wave them to step onto the hand.
After being waved on, I step on readily and kind of steady myself against one of his fingers.
Okay.
Veneris tentatively gets on. But he gets on.
Yeah. Bizarro would have just stared at the hand and stared at the tree, but then stared back at the hand, and then just kind of gone and poked one of the fingers, and then would have just put it back down by her side.
Okay. Do you get on, though? Or no?
Yeah, she'll get on.
Okay. And Datress, do you get on with...
part of the hand, so if she wants to jump off, she can.
Okay.
Will Eclipse be okay if she gets on?
It looks like he's expecting that since you're on top of the horse.
I mean, like, would Eclipse be, like...
Oh, yes.
Okay, then yeah.
He's a very well-trained warhorse, yeah.
Okay.
So as you guys all get on, and the hand begins to lift, vines come out of the hand and wrap around you, holding you in place as he rises. And as he does, he goes past his head and up through the branches in the canopy. And at the very top, your heads poke through the trees. And looking around, you see the tops of this giant forest. Stretching on farther than your eyes can see, you just see treetops. A little bit further, for those of you who really pay attention, you can see the mountain from which you came far in the distance. But what you see that disturbs you is a bit farther towards the west. You see treetops that have blackened, treetops that are dying. And you see smoke in the air in that direction, black, thick smoke.
How bright is it up there, too?
It is raining, so it's very cloudy and gray.
Okay.
The trees are dying. There used to be many more.
And he starts to bring his hands back down through the canopy and wraps them around, so that way you are all in front of him. And being at this height, you can all see in his shoulder, there's a light in there, and it does seem like there is a bedroll.
What would Griff know about the bedroll in his shoulder?
You would know that was your old home, remember?
Oh, yeah. So, I asked Vernock if I could step inside.
Then he pulls his hand to your little tree house inside of Vernock. Walking inside, you can see that it is exactly like you left it. Light on and all. With books around the floor.
I pick up my books and kind of collect them and set them on the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of sit on my bed and look around. Feel very old.
Thank you, little trees, for bringing little tree Griff back and helping Kisai and Balanos.
Bizarro would just nod but she would do it really slowly.
You are welcome. I say that kind of more slowly than I usually talk.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything else you can tell us about these blackened trees? Is it getting worse every day?
It gets worse every day. We can only guard the forest so much.
I understand. I glance over at Veneros to see if he's thinking of anything.
Veneros looks as lost as you do, but you can see him deep in thought. Like, Veneros is, like, trying to possibly figure out what the goal is here. Like, you can almost hear, like, soft mutterings, and he's got, like, his head buried in, like, one of his hands, and he's, like, talking. He's not really paying attention to everything else that's going around. Like, he is just trying to, like, mull over possibilities as to what this could be and why they're doing this, beyond the normal, like, demon wanton destruction type thing.
After it turned into black goo, would Beatrice be smart enough to realize what it is enough to make her intelligence check?
Go ahead and make an intelligence check, just for fun.
Okay.
Well, and with your background too, you might have a hint.
Yeah. That is a 15.
Okay, so you know it's a Garistro, but you don't know why it was there. But I'd say you would be aware, though, that it turned into this black sludge and slime because it died on a plane where it doesn't belong. But you would also know that that thing is not really dead. It just went back to the abyss.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It just doesn't say anything.
Okay. Griff, inside your home, it looks like Vernock had kept up to cleaning it.
It's been so long since I'd been there. It's just nice to sit in my home. And I couldn't bear the thought of anything happening to it.
Sorry, do you say that out loud?
It's definitely very internal.
Okay, sorry.
But as I kind of motioned for Vernock to bring his hand closer.
You knock on the wood, and he brings his hand and brings you back out, so you're all both in the palms of his hand.
And
he looks at you all.
Addressing the party. This is my home. And something is seeking to destroy it. I can't sit by and let that happen.
This demonic presence, this evil appearing in the woods and trying to destroy everything isn't something we haven't encountered, and I'm wondering if it's part of everything we've been going through. We've seen a lot of very unusual things below the surface.
But they don't belong here.
No, they don't.
I know we were making our way to the Moonshoore Isles, but I would like to seek and destroy whatever evil is lurking in my home.
Veneros is
Sorry,
gonna...
just takes a deep breath in and just holds it because she definitely does not want to change course right now.
Veneros is sort of gonna, like, be shaken from his, like, muttering by that and say, Griff, I feel similarly. In some ways I feel responsible, but there's no telling why they're doing this. They could have a purpose. I'm not discounting that. But frankly, they could also just be destroying things. They don't always need a reason. And, well, if you're going to try to defeat all the demons and devils of hell, I think you're going to need a few more people.
Trees.
Yeah, trees.
I think we would have the help of the trees. Vizar, I know there's something else you seek within the Southern Woodlands. Vernock, perhaps you recall the location of the temple of Belistray?
We got many temples. I remember.
Vizar, I know this is what you seek. Vernock would be more than happy to guide us there, I guarantee you. Especially if we can eliminate this threat.
Would it be easier if I sought it out and you investigated elsewhere?
I know if we got into a fight, we would most certainly need your help. We're hardly a team if we're not together.
Bizarre is gonna nod. And say, whatever the group decides.
Venero says, frankly, I am conflicted. I'm not sure what the right answer is here. Our path is rather open, and this has been presented towards us. And, well, I may not have the same fondness for my home that Grifth does, but I do understand at least the sentiment. But again, if our mission is ultimately discovered to be trying to plug up the portals of hell, well, that's a battle we're never going to win. Not here in this forest.
Well, I think we should at least investigate the problem, as we have a very clear path as to where it is coming from. If this threat continues, I mean, you heard Vernock is getting worse every day. There will be no forest left. There will be no forest left for not just Griff, but anybody else that lives here, any other creature. And I'm sure whatever illness, demon-ridden illness is spreading these lands, I don't think it's going to stop after it's finished with this forest. And Tamaris is kind of thinking back to that mural on the ceiling and the plague of kind of demonic things. We've been warned of prophecies and ill happenings. I just can't see this not falling somewhere into that storyline.
I'm not one to leave the forest unprotected and unguarded, so I'll help.
Bizarre closes her eyes. Just to hide anything.
Tamarissa notices, and she asks Vernock, How far is it to the Temple of Illustri that you constructed? I'm sure it's beautiful.
By the tall tree walks half a day.
Which direction would that be?
He kind of turns his head, and you see one of his 4 limbs just creak up and point in the direction of the east.
Closer to Neron.
Well, at the rate this disease is advancing, I would say if there's absolutely anything we can do about it, it would be in our best interest to head towards the source of the problem first. I fear that if we go towards the temple, towards Neron, by the time we make it back to Vernok, by the time we make it back to wherever the problem's coming from, it might be too late.
Zara is just going to nod once. Eyes still closed.
Are we in agreement then, Griff? Yes.
Veneris is going to nod.
Then I say...
You wish to help the trees?
Question mark.
We wish to help all trees, Vernok.
Then he goes and puts you down on the ground, unraveling you from his vines, and he stands up tall.
We must discuss.
And he turns and takes a few steps into the trees, and you see a couple of other ones that were originally standing completely still start to move. And they all circle around each other and begin discussing. But they are speaking in Druidic, so only Griff would be able to understand if he paid attention. But this will give you guys a chance to talk more, as they do as well.
Are we on the ground now? Or are we still in the hand? Okay.
You're on the ground.
Any thoughts, any theories on why these things could be appearing in the woods? According to... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, can I get a history check on if I've seen this behavior has ever been seen with demons before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, Venero's burned out all his history. It's only an 8.
Yeah. Okay, all the books that you have, including the ones on you, you don't remember getting to any point talking about the demons' behavior in this way, aside from their natural chaotic way of life.
Yeah, which is just, it's there. So
Kill, eat, destroy, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest, I'm out of ideas here. I don't know what the play is here. Again, I'm really not even certain that they're doing something that is necessarily intentional. They could just be being demons.
Well, if that's the case, then there's not something in control or really any kind of plan. Perhaps it's something that just could simply be stopped.
Fair.
That is true. We're talking about the advancement of this plague upon the forest.
Right.
I think we just have to understand what the goals are here. Even temporary relief, well, that's all we can ever provide. If the demons want this forest destroyed for some reason, they'll destroy it. It doesn't matter how many times we destroy their portals or beat back their conjurers. They will destroy it, and there's nothing we can do about that. There is not that many of us. Not enough to contend with the denizens of hell. If it's random, we stand a bit better chance. Maybe some idiot warlock got in over his head and summoned a portal that's now can't be closed, and then it's just simply a matter of closing that portal.
That's always possible. We know all about those.
Yes, I remember Daedrus's brother well.
Oh,
Shit.
But I just want us to understand what the goals are here. There's a decent chance that all will provide us temporary relief. We can't promise to save this forest. No one can make that promise as against the legions of hell. And certainly not a band of our size. Bless you. I didn't know Dragonborn sneezed.
Me neither. So right now, I guess I'm allergic to ant foot.
I know we can't promise to protect the forest forever, but if we can provide some sort of relief just for the time being.
Maybe at least give them a chance to barricade themselves or get out of the way.
Trents are powerful creatures and very capable of protecting their home. But if we could ease it at least somewhat. I'm not asking for a permanent solution. I know that's not possible. At least not always.
Well then, I suggest we come up with a plan. It's late, right, DM? It's late.
Yes, it is dark. The only light that you have currently is the light coming off of the roses that are growing along the barked wood of the trees.
So we aren't doing anything tonight. So I suggest, at least for tonight, we take a break. And then I guess we investigate the blackened trees tomorrow.
I think that would be wise.
Tamarissa nods in agreement and kind of walks off a distance, maybe a little bit closer to the trees, and looks into the roses that are glowing. And she thinks about what Tamara said to her about trusting your gut and thinking about that maybe this is taking her off the path, but she can't help feeling that all these things are related. But she also feels kind of small and powerless standing up against all these very, very large trees. But she doesn't let that show on her face.
Okay. While you all turn away from discussing, you end up hearing the and the of the Trent. Vernock comes up to you all and squats down.
We have decided you are all trees. And Balanos and I will help too. The others must stay and guard the rest of the forest. But Planos and I will go.
Is he feeling well after his battle?
Planos has thick bark.
That's always good to hear. We were thinking perhaps we could rest here tonight, recuperate our strength. We've been on quite a traveling. We've been through quite a journey the last few days.
Trees need rest. Okay. Planos will go ahead. We must see where the ugly trees come from.
You see Bolanos nod and begin to walk.
I'd like to point out that I am not in the category of ugly trees, so just want to point out to especially Datris and Vizara, Arrows confirmed, not ugly tree.
Bizarre is just gonna flush bright red, but not in a bashful way, more in just a way.
Staring as Bolanos walks away, I kind of say out loud, but sort of to myself, at least you are a tree. I don't even have leaves.
They speak slower than the Myconids.
They're much larger than the Mechanids.
Much larger than, what was his name? Stool?
Stool.
Oh, stool. That was
Little shit.
that was another lifetime ago, I'm sure.
You should have let me kill him. It would have been a much easier death.
You recall what happened to that Seraph fellow?
Indeed. Orange fungi, was it?
It's pretty demonic and twisted.
Griff, would your tree fellows know anything of that?
You might.
Do you think they are related?
Can't say for sure. It just seems strange to me that, I don't know, it sort of took him over like he was being controlled by something, and that beast we met in the forest today, so ravenous and then dissolves into a black puddle. Those are strange happenings.
Very strange.
To be fair, nothing with this group is ever normal, so...
Tamarissa smiles at that. I don't know that much about demons, but from what I've seen so far, it's not something I want to spread very far. We'll see tomorrow.
We should rest and gather our strength.
do we actually need to keep watch here? Griff?
We should be fine here within the redwood. A rosewood.
Well then,
Vernock extends his hand towards you, Griff, in a usual gesture that you haven't seen in a while, where he would bring you up to his shoulder to sleep.
I stepped right in as I would have any other night.
It has been an empty home.
And he puts you in. And for sake of time, we'll say that the night goes by uneventful, and the next day rises. It is sun-streaked, canopied morning that you're waking up to. And Vernock is very much awake. He was awake all night. And he turns to you all and says to you,
We walk faster.
and extends his hand to pick the rest of you up to walk.
Zara is the last one to get on.
I look around the group and ask Datris if she's going to ride alongside or...
I was just about to ask that. What does my horse?
The little tree can stay if it wishes, or go.
Will he be safe here?
He turns and gestures towards the other 15 or so trees. They all kind of nod.
We protect life.
All right, then I will leave him here to graze while we go off. And before Daetrys gets on, she's going to pull off his saddle bridle, his plate armor, and she's going to neatly stack it and tuck it away like under a tree and let the slips like roam the gardens, the rosewood area.
All right.
Little vacation time.
Yeah, and he is loving it.
Veneris is going to look at the...
As you all get scooped up.
Veneris is going to look at the train hand and say, well, I've had a lot of experience riding things, as Daetrys so aptly pointed out, but I haven't ridden this, so I might as well knock another one on the experience belt. And he pops on the hand.
You've never ridden wood in the morning?
Sorry, I had to.
And Veneris, well, I've done that experience, but not one quite so big, if you know what I mean.
He scoops you all up and begins to walk. And as you all are being led through the forest, being carried by Vernok, about an hour or so goes by before Vernok to slow his pace. And Grifth and Daetrys, you especially would notice first that the leaves are starting to get gray, sometimes black. The bark of trees is twisted and contorted into mockeries of nature. And you can smell a small bit of sulfur amidst the dew. The forest is no longer just trees. As you can see that some of the gray is that of stone. And it looks like you've entered an area from this height. You can see that used to be a village, one that has been gone for some time, as there are dead vines that have overgrown it. And as Vernok begins to slow, you all see ahead of you Balanos, and you can kind of make out his shape now that you've had time with him, but he is standing incredibly still. And Vernok moves slowly, and ahead you all hear guttural growls and childish laughter.
The fuck? Yeah, Veneris is going to want to make a history check.
Please roll stealth checks. Go for it. Also, please roll stealth
At
checks.
this down, go. I don't like this.
Yikes.
15.
15, okay.
6.
Non-natural 20.
All right, nice. Okay.
Griff rolled a 4. It's been a while.
Okay.
Ridden a Trent hand.
Way to go,
Stumps
Steve.
along with
You take a step and you hear a as one of the older branches of Vernok snaps. He is not pained by this.
it. I apologize. Quite.
Wow, history was a 7. What is up with my rolls?
All right.
Wow, history was a 7. What is up with my rolls?
Yeah, damn, Veneros. What's happening?
I don't know.
You won a
Yes.
battle and you're rolling poor on history.
I know.
That's your bread and butter, yo.
Because of that nat 20 shield chunt.
It's true.
That's where everything flips.
All right. So from what you guys know, you're pretty stealthy.
Are we?
And you, from what you know. Mm-hmm.
God, I hate when you say that.
Sorry.
But are we?
Peeking over the broken branches of the trees that are ahead of you and Vernok's own fingers that he spreads, you all see that it looks to be the best way that you could describe it is if there was a tear in parchment. It glows slightly, but the glow is black. And it is just stagnant in the air, as if there was just a tear in time and space. And around it, you see that there are 3 tiny creatures that are ravenously gnawing at a piece of flesh, an animal that has long since lost its identity based on the carnage that happened to it. And they are just tearing in and eating it. And you look up, and through this tear, another little being looks up and crawls out and jumps, and you hear that. And it walks over and shoves one of the other little ones and begins to claw and maw on this piece of meat. It takes you a brief moment to look more around the trees, but as you do, you see that there is this huge creature. It has orange fur and big underbite tusks that come out. On each wrist is a golden bracelet, and it resembles that of a gorilla. It's hunched over, and it is gnawing on a bigger prey. Looking at it as it is tearing into this flesh ravenously, it digs its hand in and rips something apart. And Daetrys, you would be the very first to notice that as it's ripping into this thing and holding onto the flesh, dangling, you can see a head and a very long pointed horn as silver blood streaks down its entire arm, dripping as it drinks in this liquid and continues to bite and eat this sacred being. This is what you see.
Daetrys wouldn't say anything. She would just be kind of shocked by this. She's never seen a unicorn in real life, and now the first one she sees is torn to shreds in front of her.
Mm-hmm.
Veneris he would be grim-faced. He would definitely be grim-faced. This is an ugly sight.
Tamaris is kind of transfixed on the tear. It seems to be just floating in the middle of nothing, thinking about what Vernock said and Delano said about the creatures just appearing out of nothing.
Rosara sends out a message. Does anybody know how to mend a tear between 2 worlds?
It's not something that we've done.
I was about to say, if you're looking towards me, I'm afraid I can't help you.
Do you know what causes it?
Well, someone summoned it. Whether they meant to or not sure. But someone summoned it, and unfortunately, it looks like, and I'm whispering, by the way, DM.
I figured, yeah.
And unfortunately, they found probably the best source of food they could rather nearby.
If we destroy whoever summoned it, would the gate remain?
That is not a guarantee at all. Frankly, the problem here is the food source. Can I do an Arcana check to see, how difficulty this rift is? Like, what the difficulty on this rift is?
Absolutely.
How hard is this rift?
All right, there we go. 23.
Okay. So looking at this rift in Veneros with your time of study and your field of study, you would know that this rift, it's fairly new. New enough that looking at it, you can, and especially focusing in, you can see the abyss inside. And the fact that nothing bigger than what you would know are quasits and whatever that other thing is has come out is a bit of a relief. Because if there were bigger things, you guys would be in a lot of trouble. But it looks like whatever tear this is connecting the abyss to this plane, it's a relatively there in place, but the size of it lets you know it's relatively new.
Okay.
And I should say, by the way, new in terms of tears is still like a couple years.
Yeah. This is still...
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I say, well, frankly, I mean, I want to say that the fact that the forest isn't already destroyed is a bit of a miracle, to be honest. And I say, that's the abyss right there. That's where my dad's from. My magic dad. Like...
Spell daddy.
Your
Spell daddy.
Yeah, that's where my spell daddy's from.
Crunch her brows together and just like, your father.
And I say, look, I don't know what caused this. It could just be random. It's unlikely, but not impossible that it's random. It's just bad luck, but at least it seems to be someone in a rather deserted place of the abyss. We're gonna have to... I don't know how to shut this down. I can't just... There's not an off switch at this tear. And even if we were to track down whoever it was, well... Frankly, we're better off seeking help from someone who could actually close it. And probably dealing with, well, the food source. The demons themselves will probably get taken care of eventually, but while they have that food source, they're going to be nigh unstoppable.
Griff, could we possibly let the trees know to keep the animals clear of this area? Just to make it less likable.
Unicorns aren't just animals. They're protectors. If the unicorn is gone, there's not a protector here.
What's a unicorn?
Indeed. Oh, did you say what? I thought you said is that a unicorn?
Yeah, she said, what's a unicorn?
I thought that Daedrus is just like, indeed, like, what is I was like, whoa.
Oh, I thought you said,
Your guess is as good as mine.
that's, I don't know. Anyways. A unicorn. Eclipse, my warhorse. Imagine him, but with a pure heart and a coat white as snow. They have unfathomable magic. More than Veneros over here, even. They're good creatures, and what they do is they protect the woods and they protect their realm from any harm. And
So the horse that Griff rode, was that a unicorn?
it did not have a horn.
Oh.
The horn is where its magic is contained. Spirals out of its head.
This surface world stuff's hard to keep track of.
Believe me, I feel the same way.
What sounds like just the trees swaying, you all know is Alanos and Vernot communicating. But it doesn't seem to draw any attention from the demons, as these are tree noises.
Not druidic.
Not druidic.
Would I have learned Trent language, seeing as I lived with them, or?
We didn't discuss that prior, but you can go ahead and roll an intelligence check just for fun and see.
Okay.
I feel like you would be able to like feel it. I feel like it's a feeling. I think tree language is like a feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 12.
So you can pick up certain words, but you're not fluent words, but it's mostly just the sound of nature that they're making. The words that you do pick up are, how do we close it? It's eating the protector. We have to kill them.
Again, Veneros, want to emphasize, we can't let them keep eating that unicorn. That's literally just a ticking time bomb that we're like leaving. The unicorn has to be dealt with now.
I agree. We need to destroy at least the beasts that are at the portal now. Maybe then we could at least take a look at it and perhaps discern some more about its origins.
So we fight? Are we going into battle?
I don't see a way. We cannot let them just keep eating the unicorn. That's a shit ton of power that they just get to eat.
Okay, let's do this.
And
All right, you guys are gonna fight.
Going with the plan, please.
I'll show you the map before you do then.
Okay.
Daedrus, you mentioned that its horn holds power, correct?
Correct.
Would it be advantageous to recover that horn?
It's worth a pretty penny on the black market, but I would recommend keeping it hidden. Killing a unicorn is incredibly evil. They're lawful good celestial creatures.
Right. I had no intention of selling it.
Of course. They have lots of healing magic in their horns. Removing diseases and neutralizing poisons. I don't know how much of it lasts after they've passed. That's John's knowledge.
I could possibly Misty Step and recover the horn and Misty Step back to hide it.
The unicorn is right here. This is the demon. There are 4 others surrounding a nondescript animal that they are eating. This is the tear, a broken down tree, and all these are dead, decrepit trees. And then I'm just going to say this is the tree line that you guys are all in and behind.
You can take their horn, but they'll still be able to eat it. It's not just the horn that has power. That might be a focal point, but...
I could start the battle the way we did last time.
We would have to start it stealthily if we stood a chance. Are we going to provoke things coming out of that hole if we start a battle? Veneros, can they hear us on the other side?
If there were things on the other side of that hole, they would probably already be over here.
Would blindness and deafness spell mask it any?
That's not a bad plan. At least on the big group. I think we can pretty much AoE the big group, the larger group down. Drop everything we want. And then we deal with whatever is munching on the unicorn. Be certain. The thing they're munching on our unicorn is their boss. That's what we're gonna have to fight. But we also have 2 bosses, and I sort of like nod back to the trends on our side as well. I think it's important that we nuke down the center group regardless of what they're eating. We don't really have the time to figure out what they're eating, and then we deal with the boy munching on the unicorn.
So long range spells, anything to take them out as quickly as possible.
Yes.
I could start with a wall of thorns around the main group.
I'd rather
that
us... what if we separated the big one to stop us from interfering until we were ready to deal with him?
I can do that as well.
All right.
I could open up with a big spell, but...
Save the big spells, just in case anything else comes out of there.
The druids may not like my spells.
Well, considering we want them on our side, maybe we hold off and let Grifth do his thing.
Let's save it for the just in case.
Yeah, we all have a surprise round, right?
Yes, you would all have a surprise round.
So I think we blow everything to try to blow up the little group, and then we deal with the big boy.
You want to cut them off?
All right. Well, I will start with
You cross there.
a wall of thorns. I'm going to do the radius one again, so that it's around him.
Okay. Are you doing that right now, or are you guys still planning?
We're still planning. I'm just saying that's what my move will
Okay.
be.
I think my move is going to be to use Shatter on the group of enemies surrounding the unknown body.
I'll do what I do best and shoot my arrow.
And I will stay on the outskirts.
You can cast a whole person on him.
And I can't.
So get out. It needs to start there.
Yes, that's a good idea.
Why are you whispering?
I don't know.
So we don't get killed by a hole in the space and time continuum.
So they don't hear.
As you
So
say it loudly.
Yeah. So the DM don't hear you?
Okay. That is true. I can cast Hold Person on the beast, and I can start making my way towards it so that when we're ready to deal with it, I can get a good strike.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mazar would like to cast Blindness, Deafness on the portal. I don't know if that would be technically allowed, but I have to
Certainly
choose
try.
one. I'd have to choose one, so I think I might go with Deafness over Blindness, because we're probably going to make a lot of racket.
And these things probably can't see that well anyway, since they're...
Well, I don't know that, but I'd rather them not hear us than not be able to see us.
True.
So I do not need to roll an attack. It needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, she's a...
Okay.
Where's my concentration saving throw?
While you guys are planning, I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. We are going to wrap up soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to go use the restroom.
We're gonna what?
We're gonna be wrapping up soon.
So we gotta kill these little beasties. I'm excited. Let's do it. Tatris, you're gonna try to stay high up so that you can get a good shot at the big beast or the little ones.
Daetra should probably stay up and be shooting at the big boy.
Okay. So after
Yeah, Colossus
I'm
is
gonna-
good for big boy.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cast Hold Person on it, and then head in that direction if you want to dash through the trees around me.
Okay. The only thing is I have hex bow, and
Oh, yeah.
we have had to deal with this. But in the light, I only can shoot 5 arrows. Otherwise, every arrow I shoot takes a hit point from me.
Well, I have.
Worth it for the damage as long as I can stay out of range. And if we
That
can
sounds
finish
good.
it off, like before I go through like once I'm after 3 rounds, we should be okay.
Mhm.
Like I'm willing to sacrifice a couple hit points for shots at the hex bow, but
Yeah. Plus, we have the Trent, so if maybe one of them can come with us, and the other one can kind of make sure nothing else big and horrible crawls out of the hole, and make sure the other creatures get squashed very well.
yep.
I think you and I are both in front of that one. Wait, which one are you? Are you the light colored one?
I'm just the gray.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're in good position.
All right.
Am I in between the big red thing and the big green thing?
Yes.
Yes. So how we're going to do this surprise round is I need all of you to roll initiative, and I'll let you go in the order that you planned, and then we're going in the initiative order.
Okay. So, no. Me too, buddy. Me too.
17.
Oh, wait. All right.
14. Woo.
All right.
Griff rolled a 12.
Boogie.
Griff's not looking to save his people.
That's an 18 from Veneris.
Oh, that's
All right.
in from Daetra.
Ooh.
What is your deck?
One.
I'm gonna say that the Ranger's Dex is higher than the Warlock's +1.
Yeah, mine.
All right.
Shaboo for bone.
All right. So pick the order that you want to go in for the surprise round.
Griff?
Should probably start with the Wall of Thorns.
I agree.
Okay.
So
Can
yeah,
open up.
I think it's what Griff Finaros. What am I gonna do?
Hold person.
And then me, Tamarissa, and then Daedrus, and then Bizarra.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
you're going first.
Yes.
We're going into
So
battle.
we're going into battle.
I would only your strongest thought.
tell me your
She gave you one instead.
She did.
All right. So you're casting Wall of Thorns. Here we go.
The 14.
Surprise round. 14 dex save, and you're casting it on them,
No, on the beast, so he can.
on this guy.
Yeah, the big guy.
Okay, like a circle around him.
Yeah.
Or how long can Wall of Thorns go? Like, what's the distance? I should have asked that.
Oh, the range is 120 feet.
Yeah, but how long is the wall?
It's I'm doing a circle, 20 foot
Okay.
diameter, 20 feet high, and 5 feet thick.
Okay. So this gets constructed now. It is going through the unicorn as well because of the circle.
Okay.
The unicorn is not
Okay.
alive, correct?
It is not, but I'm
I
just
figure
letting
with
you
the
know.
head being separated from the body thing, but you know,
Yeah.
It's
And what
already
save does it have to make?
it's just matter.
14 dexterity.
Okay. That is a 7, so it fails.
Oh yes, but
As this wall of thorns erupts around it in a new signature move-like fashion.
It's 35 points of damage.
All right, 35 points. Okay, who's next in the order?
Veneros, I believe.
Yep, next up is Veneris, and he's gonna open up a can of whoop ass on that group.
Okay.
And he's gonna do Shatter. So they all need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, all 4. Here we go. Okay. Sorry, there's just so many of them. Okay, con. Cool. So that's a 10, an 11, a 16, and a 14.
Okay, so 2 of them save and 2 of them do not. And they take
Okay.
half damage on a successful save.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the damage.
Oh wow, starting out with 1, 2, 3, 1. Cool. Awesome.
Okay. So the 2 that failed die just immediately, and they turn into black sludge as they do. But the other 2 are still alive and are looking around rapidly. Who is next?
I believe it is me.
All right.
And am I within 60 feet of the big beastie?
The big beastie. Yeah, 55 feet.
Okay. I'm going to cast Hold Person
Okay.
on the big beastie. It has to succeed a saving throw of Wisdom.
Okay. A wisdom save. Interesting. All right. That is a 16.
Okay.
It succeeds.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and cast Hunter's Mark on it. Can I do
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that is a bonus action. I'll allow it.
just because this is your surprise round, so it's kind of like your first turn. Or actually, no. I'm sorry. No, because nobody else got a bonus action. So you'll have to wait for Hunter's Mark.
Okay. Can I start moving towards it?
You're only getting an action for the surprise round.
Oh, okay. I'll wait.
Okay. And who's next?
Me.
Okay.
So, no bonus action. So, Daetrys is just gonna shoot it.
All right. The big dude.
Big dude, yes.
Okay. He is surrounded by a wall of thorns, so the AC is higher.
I thought we were not. We were up on him on the treant still. That might change our plan. I'm gonna try it anyways. That's a 27.
Yeah, I mean, did you guys stay atop the treants?
Daetrys would have to stay above.
We talked about it, but we didn't specifically say that she was there, but we did talk about her getting up high. But
Okay. Are all of you up high?
no, Benares would be on the ground.
I think Tamarissa would be too. She doesn't have that many long-range attacks. Or
Is anybody else up high?
Grifth probably is. Grifth is probably still with Vernok, right? In his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, go ahead. The AC is still going to be a bit higher, but go ahead and make a shot.
Yeah, I rolled a 27. I already did my attack roll.
Okay, yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
So I can't turn on my D8. And then he's not at his hit point maximum, right?
No, he is not.
Alrighty. So that is 26 damage.
All right. Ooh. Nice.
Daetrys.
So the thing rears back in pain, just as it's being shot. What were you going to say, Daetrys?
Oh, I was just saying that's Daetrys.
Yeah. And Bizarra, were you going to do? Oh wait, you did the.
I need to get within 30 feet, so she's gonna run up to that first tree on the other side. Nope.
This one?
Nope. That one.
Okay.
So she can cast deafness on the portal.
Okay.
And it needs to make a Constitution saving throw of 14.
Okay. So it can't really make a saving throw. So you cast the spell. You don't know if it worked or not.
Okay. And then with that, Bizarre's gonna hide because she's already used her action and her movement, so she's gonna.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. I forgot that for the surprise round, you guys aren't moving. It's just an attack, so you wouldn't have been able to have moved up there.
Oh.
Yeah, because for the surprise round, we're just doing an attack.
You got that dagger.
Okay. Yeah, I do have my dagger. I'm gonna go after one of the small ones, the closest to me.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
And sorry for my neighbor's loud thingy. That's a non-nat 20.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Kill it. Kill it. I would love to. That didn't sound bad at all. Does it count as sneak attack?
Yes, because this is a surprise round.
So do I roll twice? I have to read that again.
You don't roll twice, you just roll
Never
extra d6.
Never mind. Okay. And that will be 12 points of damage.
Yeah, that guy just fucking dies and turns into black sludge. All right, now we are in initiative order. Daetrys, you are first. You are atop of Vernok.
You're muted.
We can't hear you.
I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the big guy.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shoot him because that's what Daetrys does.
That is true.
So, first attack is a 20. 24.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay. You know what? Let me get my calculator out. Would it be easier if I rolled to hit my second one and then just added all my damage together?
Yeah, let's do that.
So the second one is a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay.
So roll all your damage, and
Yeah.
next in the line is Veneros.
This is a lot of dice. I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
We're not sorry.
Yeah,
All right.
I got this.
That's 57 damage.
Good.
All right, nice. It cries out in pain.
And that's Datrus's turn.
All right, next is Veneros.
Yeah, so anyone who is watching the stream and has heard us... Oh, wait. I'm muted.
Oh my god, it's stopping now.
Yeah, so anyone on the stream who has heard us talk about Datrus dice, this is what we mean.
Yeah. My
okay.
gosh.
I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery at the big dude.
All right, do it.
Also, he needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Wisdom. That is a 12.
Does not do it.
All right.
It's going to be 3 points of damage. But more importantly, he has disadvantage on his next attack until the end of this.
Sounds good. Okay. Next is the Quasit. The Quasit, who now sees all of you, turns and looks to you. We're gonna say, actually, no. The Quasit goes invisible. And you guys don't know where it went.
I'm sorry, what?
The Quasit, it turned invisible.
Is it the little thing?
Yes.
Oh, no, I don't like little mean things.
And
Comfortable.
it uses its movement, but you guys don't know where it went. Next is Bizarra.
Bizarra is going to do what her first initial plan was, which she's going to run up to that tree and cast deafness on the portal.
All right, so you do so. You don't know if it worked, but you did cast it.
Yep. And she's going to hide.
All right, go ahead and roll to hide.
That's stealth, right?
Yes.
17.
All right, so you believe that you are hidden.
Great. I love hearing that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Gotta keep up the mystery. Next is the bar girl. The bar girl. The Balgura. Oh, we disappeared, Tyler.
I think he knows.
Oh, okay. Sorry. All right. So next we're all in the abyss. All right.
You wake up and you're still in the dungeon.
Yeah. All right. Next, the Balgura. I'm just gonna put that unicorn down.
What is this?
Is going to turn.
There we go. We're back.
Okay, we're back.
All right, and is going to move. So that is 20, 50. Okay, so 40. Okay. So that's technically. Okay, so I'm gonna say that he's still technically on the cusp of the Wall of Thorns, but it comes out and sees the bunch of you, not you, Bizarra, and just gives this big roar, silver blood dripping from his mouth as it beats its chest. So it's ending its turn still in, or actually no, and then for its action, it's going to run forward, so that way it doesn't end its turn. So, 10, 15,
So like
20.
a dash.
25, 30. Yeah, for its action, it's going to use its movement. Okay. Next is Tamarissa, as you see this gorilla-like demon sprinting towards you.
I'm ready. All right, I'm gonna cast my Hunter's Mark real quick,
All right, so it's being Hunter's marked by 2.
and then I'm going to Divine Smite roll to attack. Well,
All right.
roll to attack. Oh my god.
What was your attack roll?
Yeah. It was an 11.
Total?
Yeah.
Okay, so that does not hit. So you swing, and you said that you Divine Smited. So what level did you Divine Smite at? Which, by the way, you can tell me after you figure out if you hit or miss, if you want to Divine
I remembered that after I got excited about Divine Smiting.
Yeah.
So.
Smite. You didn't specify which level of Divine Smite, so I'm fine if you just pick one. Level
Usually,
1.
I'll specify if I'm doing 2 or more, but if I'll just do 1.
Okay, but you still get another attack.
Oh, I'm gonna attack again then.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. 21.
Yeah, that hits. Are
Okay.
you Divine Smiting?
You bet your ass.
All right.
So, and I'm striking with Dawnbringer also. So she's 1d8 plus 5.
Do I see Dawnbringer's light?
She's
What?
pretty
Oh, yeah. You can see her light.
Does it bother me?
Nope. Not at all, actually.
So then 2d8 extra, so 6 plus.
And on deck is Grifth.
That's 17 points of damage.
All right, nice.
Griff is going to wow.
Wow.
Wow. He is going to. He's just going to cast Ice Knife.
All right.
But at second level? Where is it?
Okay. Is that an attack roll or
It's an attack roll. I'm just trying to find it on second level. There it is. Cast. Okay. Yeah. And that is a plus 8 to hit. That's not a d20. That's a 25 to hit.
All right. Yeah, that hits.
So he takes 1d10 to hit. So that's 9 damage from that, and it explodes for 3d6.
Okay. Does that affect a radius or just the thing that it hit?
It's 5 feet.
So, okay. It will hit Tamarissa as well.
Okay. Well, they both have to make a dex save.
Okay.
14.
Okay. That is a 9 for the Bulgura.
It's 11.
All right. So we both take full damage.
So that's. So that's 11 points from the explosion.
All right.
It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't even matter. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine.
So the monster took 20.
Nice. Yes. All right. Next is the Treant. All right. The Treant is going to pick up a boulder that is on the side and is going to hit it with a rock attack, the Bulgura. That is a 26 to hit. As you see this boulder go flying and hitting this Bulgura. The Bulgura takes... All right, 36 points of damage. And the Treant Balanos is going to move over here. Next is Vernok. He's going to move towards the Bulgura and is going to make one of its slam attacks since it's carrying Grifth and Daedrus is the top of them at the Bulgura. Okay. That's a 14 to hit, so it misses. And now it is Daedrus's turn.
You're muted.
Daedrus is gonna shoot him.
Shoot him!
Because that's what Daedrus does. Alright, first one is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, and I'll just roll the second one as well.
Yep. Yeah.
And that one is a 28 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Your dice, man.
Alright, so let me do the dice rolls.
If any of you need to take a bathroom break or get a drink, now
Oh
is
my
a good
God.
time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
On one hand, you may not want to because it sounds like the fight's about to be over.
Yeah, I'm rolling really well now.
Oh yeah, that one little thing that disappeared. I bet it went back into the hole to get some friends.
That is 52 points of damage.
All right. Jesus.
So for Binary, who's been commenting, another
and,
casual 52 points.
Daedrus takes 1 point of damage.
All right, and Daedrus takes 1 point of damage.
Yep.
All right. Next is Veneros.
Hold up, we're frozen again. I don't know why we keep freezing. I will work on it. Veneros is going to cast Chill Touch at the big boy.
All right.
14 doesn't hit, I imagine.
It does not.
Okay, good. Okay, good. We're not frozen anymore. Okay, yep, we're good.
All right.
It's my turn.
Next is
Actually, can I back around to like one of the dead trees?
yeah.
Yeah, I want to back around to one.
Which one?
The one farthest from them. Yeah, that sounds great. That was great.
Okay. Next is the Quasit, who Veneros, I swear to God, was actually running in that direction. It appears next to you and turns and looks at you as you arrive, and as it does, it attempts to scare you. So I need you to make a wisdom saving throw. It just appears and you hear a and attempts to frighten you.
I assume that
Poops his pants.
I assume a 9 doesn't cut it.
It just fails. Veneros, you are frightened for 1 minute of this little thing.
Fantastic.
So you can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of your turns with disadvantage if the Quasit is still in sight. And the Quasit is going to use its movement to move around this way. So it's on the other side of the tree. Next is Bizarra.
Bizarre, seeing a big thing, just ran past her and hasn't seen her. She's going to use sneak attack and throw her returning dagger at it.
Okay. All right, go ahead and make an attack roll.
And that is a 23.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll for damage.
7 plus, what was it for you? So that would be 11 points of damage.
All right.
And with that, Bizarro would probably dart to the other Triant across from her so she can hide behind him because the big thing probably knows she's there now. Yeah, she's got to hide.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and roll to hide.
Stealth,
Yes.
12.
All right. So you think you're hidden.
That is my thing.
No.
But thank God for plus 10.
All right. Next is the Bulgura. Being in front of you, Tamarissa, it is going to use multi-attack on you. So first, it's going to use one of its bites, which is an 18 to hit.
An 18 is not hit.
All right. Next is the 2 fist attacks. That is a 25 to hit.
It does hit. I am wielding a shield, but that's not going to help me much.
Mm-hmm.
Does give me.
And the next one is a non-natural 20. Oh,
Yes, those both hit.
all right. So you take.
They just punched me twice?
Yeah, it did.
What a jerk.
First one hit.
So you take
I did get punched a lot.
you take 22 points of bludgeoning damage from this gorilla's fists as it boom, boom, and then it turns and looks at Veneros and starts to charge Veneros.
Is it me now? Do I get an attack of opportunity if it charged away from me?
Yes, you do.
Do I roll for attack? I roll for attack, right?
Yeah, you roll for an attack. It is right in front of Veneros.
Damn it. 14.
14 does not hit.
Damn.
But next is Tamarissa.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on Veneros.
Okay. So Veneros, you get a +2.
Yeah. Plus suitor's armor class. And I'm. How far away from it? I can still charge at it, right? From behind?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, you can.
Okay. Can I still roll to attack that thing?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Do it.
Does a 19 hit?
A 19 does hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay, so that's.
That would have been horrible if a 19 didn't hit.
It's 8 plus 5.
One day.
They had that with that one girl with the gauntlet who's super mad.
She was super mad.
Someone rolled 20 and Taylor's like, that doesn't hit.
Yep.
Help me math. Oh, 23. 25 points of damage.
All right. Nice.
Oh wait, a spell is an action, right?
Yeah, it's a spell's an action.
Yeah, okay.
Depends on the spell.
I cast it's a
Shield of Faith.
Shield of Faith is an action. Yeah.
It is?
I believe Shield of Faith is a bonus action.
Is it? Oh my god, it is!
All right, nice. So you can hit again.
Okay, I'm gonna strike again. I'm
Do
gonna
it.
Oh, no, I'm not. 12.
Yeah, that does not hit.
Use my unlucky dice. My lucky one is right here.
The next is Grifth.
Instant bless my dice.
Griff is going to cast summon. Where is it? Conjure animals.
Okay.
Ooh, buddy.
He is going to. He's gonna conjure 2 brown bears.
Cool.
Okay. I don't have 2 brown bears, so we're going to use 2 horses.
Next to the. What's it called again?
Bulgura.
Next to the Bulgura.
Okay.
And I can roll for their initiative as well.
All right, go for it.
First one is 1, so he's dead last.
Okay.
And the next one is 19.
All right, nice. So they will be taken into account next initiative.
That works.
Okay.
And that was mine.
So next is the Treant, Balanos. Seeing as how that thing is surrounded, Balanos is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20.
Am I hidden now?
No. It is moving towards the tear. That is his turn. Next is for Nock, who is going to turn 5, 10, 15. Is going to attempt a slam attack with one of his hands. Oh, buddy. But that is a natural 2, so he slams down his hand and misses, trying to keep balance with the dwarf and the elf up on him. Next is Datris, which I do want to say, by the way, at this point, you all start to hear a grumbling.
Oh, crap.
Oh no. Okay, well, Beatrice is still gonna shoot him. The first one is a 25.
That hits.
The second one is a 18.
Okay, so they both hit.
Oh, okay, cool. Oh, that was the left
Wait,
that rolls up.
did you say the Bulgara is running back towards the rip? Or the little
No.
thing?
The Treant is. Bolanos is walking towards the tear, the rift.
My dice are rolling really awesome. I'm just gonna save help right now. My damage dice. Except for the d6s, and again, they don't roll well.
I'm just like,
Oh,
happy
no.
I get to roll attack rolls.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, my dice don't roll well. I only do 57 points of damage.
Yeah, my d6s only rolled once, but I still did 67 points of damage.
Oh my
Holy
God.
shit.
Because my
All
d6
right.
rolled 8 every time except for one.
Okay, well, how do you want to do this, Datris?
I'll think back.
So where is it on the map? It's the blue?
The one in orange.
Okay. I just want to shoot him straight through the top of his head.
All right, and
Yeah.
you do, and as you do, you take 2 points of damage as you draw back and release your arrow. You feel the ping in your back, and the arrow goes shooting true. Do you want to describe how it dies?
Yeah. So it's gonna go through its head, and you guys down on the ground see it come out like the bottom of its mouth before it like dissipates because it's magic, right? And it kind of like wobbles for a second, like you know how when you cut a chicken's head off, like they like run around for a little bit. Yeah, I've read stories where you can cut a chicken's head off and they run around for a little bit. So he like kind of sways and takes like a step or two, and then he just like falls to his knees and then down onto his chest, and then he dies.
All right. As he falls into the ground and slowly melts into the black sludge, you all still hear
That's just someone snoring.
it's coming.
Okay.
I'm sure it's fine.
It's coming from where?
I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, me too.
What's the worst that can happen?
That like hurt my lungs.
Did you say it was coming from the portal?
Yeah. Oh my god, that hurt my voice.
What if we buried the portal in rocks?
Do it. Griff, mold earth around the portal.
Are you going initiative?
Are we still? No, wait, we have to kill that other little thing.
Yeah, Veneris is next.
Oh yeah, but I'm frightened.
Touch it. Oh wait, you're still.
Yeah, Veneris is frightened, so he can't approach it.
I guess I'll run away and just try to cast Chill Touch. I assume it'll be a disadvantage.
Yes.
14.
All right, 14. That does hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
Yeah, boy.
1, 2, 3 damage.
1.
3 damage.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he's dead. He was not a very strong boy.
You managed to frighten me though, apparently.
Yeah.
I imagine it's like those people who get scared and they just go, ah, and they like punch.
Except with a long, creepy celestial hand. Oh. Oh, what did
All
we
right.
do? She's about to tell us what we did.
You are out of
I would
initiative.
like to do one thing,
Do it.
if it helps. Bizarre would run within distance to, actually, she's probably already within distance, 60 feet. She'd call out to the treant to back up. She'd cast darkness on the portal. So it's a 15-foot radius sphere that basically like no light unless it's magical can shine through it. So it's like total darkness in there.
I'm gonna attempt to cast Dispel Magic on the portal.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Okay. Oh, no, I forgot I had this spell. It's a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't close, but you do see it affected slightly. Well, actually, no, you wouldn't be able to see it because it's cast in darkness. So you don't know if it worked or not.
Dang it.
Huh? It's very dark. Nope. I have no idea. It's dark. You can't see. You casted it. You don't know if it worked.
Well, I guess that's not gonna do it. Fuck.
You all can't see it either right now. It is shrouded in darkness.
What if we just buried it? Like in rocks. It's a temporary solution, but it's something.
I start using Mold Earth to just like build a mound in front of the portal.
And you start to cover it all up, and the treants are both wondering what's happening.
Is it done?
No, I don't think so.
But we buried it.
I'm just trying to stop whatever else might come through, or at least slow it down.
In about 10 minutes, we can try that spell you casted on it afterwards. Because darkness will fade around 10 minutes.
That's creepy. Darkness will fade.
Well, it is also covered in stone right now.
Oh yeah.
Or
so
not stone, but it's covered in dirt and whatnot.
At least in front of it. In front
Okay.
of the portal. Yeah, not the whole thing. I was just watching the opening.
We don't know that if Dispel Magic works, so I mean, I think for now, like, our plan is, like, bury it in rocks, and then we figure out someone who knows how to deal with interplanar stuff.
Okay.
I agree.
All right. Well, after you all do this, Grifth, you notice that the discrepancy in the clouds that you saw earlier, the black smoke, is a lot closer. And it doesn't mesh well with the black clouds in the sky. And you can see that Bolanos is walking over towards it to try to discern what's going on, but you would see this, Griff.
Bolanos, what do you see?
The black smoke. It's darker. I will see.
And he walks off towards it. A few minutes go by before he comes back. And he looks horrified.
They're all gone. They're all gone.
What?
Who is gone?
And he begins to make noises of weeping. And Vernock walks over towards him, puts a hand on him.
Bolanos. No.
And he turns and he looks at all of you and he says,
There was a grove.
and Vernock turns and begins running in that direction as well.
Do we follow?
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, we follow. I start running behind.
Okay. You guys follow, and wandering through the dilapidated town into the more dead trees as the blight has spread, you all crest the top of a ledge, and you see standing next to you, Vernock. Balanos coming up behind you. All approach, and coming over, you widen your eyes at the sight at a tower, tall, made of black obsidian that looks as if it was built by the sorrow of men. Smoke rises from the tower's top, and around it, draping it in the shadow of the smoke, the rain drizzling now gives it an eerie cloak, and below the tower, in a massive heap, you see a tribe of orcs that have clearly made camp and are surrounding the tower. The orcs are dragging trees into the massive pit on either side of the tower, dropping them in with war cries and ferocious strength. The crackling and sudden whoosh of fire erupts from the pits, and the smoke gets blacker, matching the very tower that it burns for. A war cry howls from the orcs below, and you see that they, too, are fighting off some demons of the lesser breed. Their flags billow in the wind, and as the wind settles, you, Daetrys, recognize those colors and that symbol. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
We really picked the symbol of the orc, right? Okay. Yep. Okay.
You guys did a lot. I'm happy. This is the part that I wanted to get to before we ended.
We did good. We did faster battle.
Binary Pepperoni, Rangers for the win all the time.
Oh,
Yes.
Oh, it's just you.
That's so tight on my head.
A wild Isengard. Yeah. Well, this is why I wanted you guys to send me like the things that you really like and whatnot. So that way I could incorporate bits into your stories.
I forgot to do that. Sorry, Taylor. It's been busy.
It's okay. But yeah, you guys did it. And you learned a little bit more. Good job, everyone. Haley, Tyler, I know you're super tired.
I'm exhausted.
I'm so burned out.
Yeah. Yeah, go bed. Go bed.
Yeah, all right. Good night, everyone.
Good
All
night.
right, night, guys.
I'm going to end the stream.
Thanks for
soon.
watching. Yep.
Do we have anything to say before I shut it off?
Just thanks for watching. We hope that you continue to follow our campaign.
Yeah.
And happy rolling.
Yeah, 2 weeks from now, right?
Yes, 2 weeks from now will be the next episode.
Cool.
Cool.
See you, everyone.
See you
Then.
in September.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night, y'all.